Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, home of the authentic fan. Some overcast overhead, a little fog, a marine layer coming in as the Giants and Athletics get ready for game 2 of this 3-game interleague series. Let's take a look at the A's batting order. The Giants have taken the field. The A's batting order brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Ramon Laureano in center field. Matt Chapman hits second at third base. Got a 13-game hitting streak going now. Matt Olson at first base. Jed Lowry hits cleanup at second base. Chad Pinder's in there in right field. Sean Murphy, the catcher. Elvis Andrus at short. Tony Kemp is the left fielder, as they have just a couple of lefties in the lineup against Alex Wood, and Frankie Montas, the pitcher, bats ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the veteran Alex Wood. Wood, 30 years of age. He's in his 8th year at the big league level. This is what he has done in 12 starts, 6-3 with a 4.09 ERA with 65 strikeouts in 66 innings. When you're taking your at-bats against him, you're going to see a sinker. He'll throw a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball. He's also got a slider and change. Our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud shows you the usage. The sinker, he uses it almost half the time. He's a knee-high guy. He likes that low part of the zone. That's where he gets most movement on his stuff.
Here's Laureano. Giants and A's ready to go. And right there on the inside corner for the fastball. 0-1. Laureano, 258 average, but 13 home runs at 336 on base average. A swinging strike 2.
Good changeup. So important to establish all your pitches early.
And too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Laureano, who spent some time on the injured list this year, he's got 13 home runs and he's only played in 57 games, so he has really been a power guy, but he's hitting back in the leadoff spot for this game, and he gets caught looking. A fastball right down the middle, and he could not get off a swing.
He was not looking for a fastball. Let's check out the Giants defense, brought to you by Geico, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Dickerson, Duggar, and Yastrzemski. That's your outfield, the best arm in center field. Crawford and Flores will be on the left side of the infield. Solano and Wade Jr. on the right side. Curt Casali, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Chapman up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Chapman, who got off to a very slow start. He had hip surgery last September on his right hip. And that is right there on the inside for a called strike. 1-1 now to Chapman. He seemed to question that call by Lance Barrett.
I think he's asking, is that as far in as you're going to call tonight? Is that the corner of your zone? It's a good slider right there. And you look at the production of each pitch, the movement that it has, the snap that it has, the late break that it has. When he's on, it's all of those.
And he got the big swing and the miss on that one. 2-2 now. With Matt Olson, one of the 2 lefties in the lineup, on deck.
Alex Wood is unique. I mean, he's a low 3/4 release, but a little bit of a herky jerk in his delivery. You don't see the ball early, and he likes to work a quick pace. You get in that batter's box, you better be ready against him.
A little bit high. And Chapman did well to lay off that one. 3-2. Giants have 3 infielders to the left of second. And this one in the air. Shallow left center. Dickerson out number 2.
Let's take a look at our StatCast weather conditions. The winds in the ballpark are far more complicated than what the flags show. We all know that. The numbers shown on the screen indicate feet added or lost to fly balls based on the current wind conditions. They calculate the wind, the temperature, humidity, air pressure. All of that goes into an equation, and this is what they spit out. Blue is helpful to the hitter, and there is some carry to the left side of the field. Red means it's blowing in, and it is blowing in to right. You get no help to right side of the field tonight.
Matt Olson off the outside. Olson having a great first half, although the Giants held him hitless last night as he went 0 for 4. .298 average, .378 on base average, 20 homers, 53 batted in, and that was right over toward his teammates in the Oakland dugout. And there he's got his Yaz bobblehead. Congratulations. And there's the real thing. Ooh, change up. And that fooled him. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The Giants into the complete overshift now for Olsen. Nobody at third base. Third baseman Wilmer Flores moves over to the second base position. And Solano is out in right field. There you see how they're playing it. High in the air toward the pitcher's mound. And this is not going to be easy. Look out. And caught by the third baseman, Wilmer Flores. 3 up, 3 down. The Giants are coming up.
Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota. Let's go places. By Heffernan Insurance. Because you're different. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Nextiva. When you need business communications for the office, the home office, and everywhere in between, choose Nextiva.
Outside Oracle Park. The O'Doul Gate. Inside. A's nothing. Giants coming up. Lamont Wade Jr. The Giants batting order brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Wade at first. Yaz in right. Flores at third. Dickerson at left. Crawford at short. Solano at second. And then Duggar in center. Casali hits 8th. He had another home run last night as the first pitch fastball in there at a cool 97 miles an hour from Montas at the knees. Strike 1 call.
Oh, Frankie Montas has great stuff. That's what he has done in 15 starts. 7-7, 4.79 ERA. 13 home runs in 87 innings allowed. He's a big fella, 6'2", 255. And as you pointed out, I mean, he throws hard. He'll go high 90s with 2 and 4 seam movement. He's also got a slider and a changeup.
Ooh, that hit Montas on the leg. Stayed right at his feet, and he throws him out. And they're out to make sure that he's okay.
I'd like to know the velocity of that line drive. 105 miles per hour, and it hits him right on the right thigh, it looks like. Oh, that was direct hit. I mean, it's okay. He's not going to bother him tonight, but tomorrow he's going to wake up and he's definitely going to feel it. And that will leave a deep bruise.
Bob Melvin out there. The Oakland head trainer is Nick Paparesta, with also Brian Shulman, Jeff Collins, other Oakland trainers. Bob Melvin, a former Giant catcher and now considered one of the top managers in the game. Here is Yastrzemski. 234 average. That has been trending upward as they go into the overshift for him. In for a called strike. 10 home runs for Yaz and a club best 19 doubles. Got a .336 on base average. And looked like a lot of movement on that fastball at 97 miles an hour, running away, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, it's a 97 mile an hour 2-seam fastball, and the movement is strong. It's a little flat down around the knees with a tail of sink, running away from lefties.
Ooh, right over the heart of the plate, but fouled back to the screen.
First time you hit against a power sinker, it really is a disadvantage. I mean, you really have to see it to be able to do anything with it. And the one thing you don't want to try and do is try and pull it.
In the dirt.
Let's take a look at the defense for the A's tonight, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Kemp, Laureano, and Pinder, the best arm in center field. Andrews and Chapman on the left side of the infield. Lowry and Olsen on the right side. Sean Murphy, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Changeup. Oh man, that was nasty. That must have been his splitter. And he is thrown out by Murphy. 2 down.
Take a look at the off-speed pitch. You know, you're so dialed to 97, then he comes at you with the same arm speed, and it's about 10 feet short. And the result is you're way out in front, way off balance. Nice pitch.
Montas, who is from the Dominican Republic, as Flores stands in, and it's right at the knees, called a strike. And he would like a turnaround game here. His start last Monday in Texas was not good. He gave up 5 runs in the first inning in Arlington, Texas. Settled in for a while, and then got touched up for a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. And right on the outside edge. 0-2 the count. Montas, who at times can be overpowering, and other times not so much. 4.79 ERA for the year. 1-2 now. Montas has allowed more hits than innings pitched coming into this game. 91 hits in 82 2/3 innings and 13 home runs. Wilmer Flores, who's been hot lately, and he takes that breaking ball, hard breaking ball again, and it's 2-2 with Alex Dickerson on deck. Giants have 5 left-handed hitters in their lineup against Montas. And back to the fastball, but that's too low at 98 miles an hour. Full count now. He jumped ahead of him initially. 0-2 was the count. Now it's 3-2. 2 down, nobody on. Back to the screen.
Great pitch. Great fight him off right there. I mean, 98 miles per hour at the knees, about 4 inches on the off the plate away. But you've got to cover it. And really, that's all you try to do is just foul it off someplace. Hope you get something in a better location next pitch.
Still 3-2 now to Flores. And a high fly ball along the right field line. Olson and Pinder, and neither one can quite get there. And Flores is still alive.
Well, one thing's for sure, you don't have to worry about mounds in the bullpen coming over there to that part of the ballpark if you're playing right field or first base. I mean, when this ballpark first opened up, we got 2 guys in a heap somewhere down there on the ground, stumbling over 2 mounds.
Montas, who is facing the Giants for the first time in his career. 3-2 pitch. Down to the right, and Pinder. And the inning is over. We head to the 2nd. Lowry coming up.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Pacifico Beer. Born in Baja and loved in the Bay. Pacifico Beer. Please drink responsibly.
There's a called strike to Jed Lowry, leading off in the 2nd inning for the Athletics. 0-0 score. Lowry, switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty. And quickly 0-2. Got a fastball by him. A little bit up on the inside. Chad Pinder on deck, and then Sean Murphy to follow. 1-2 now. The Dodgers are playing there in the 9th inning at Dodger Stadium with the Cubs. That game is 2-2 with the Cubs batting in the 9th inning, and the Padres are just getting started against Arizona down at Petco Park. And low again. 2-2 the count. And Arizona has jumped ahead with a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning down in San Diego. The Giants beginning the day with a 4.5 game lead over both the Dodgers and the Padres in the National League West. And now it's 3-2. You see the National League West standings. The 3 best records in the National League, all in the National League West. Strike 3 call on the outside corner with the slider.
The thing nice about Lance Barrett, talk about it, he's a low ball umpire, but he will give corners. And this is an absolute pitcher's pitch. This thing comes wide, and if you're a hitter, you're going to give up on that.
Chad Pinder now. And a fastball, a swinging strike 1.
Got exactly what he was looking for. Pinder's got good opposite field power. Since they've taken the scrim sheet out in right field, and it was a sheet that was put up on the gate on the port walk in right field, and it prevented the air from coming through the archway. When they put that scrim sheet up, it changed the wind in this ballpark.
That ball is hit deep down the left field line, but moving laterally is Dickerson, and he can't quite get there, but it is a foul ball. That's the spot where the stands come around very close to the foul line, and he's got to be careful not to crash into that sidewall.
Yeah, that ball hits his glove when he's in fair territory. Landed foul, so it's a little hinky playing on both sides of the field if you're a corner outfielder, because when you get to that foul line, you just don't have a lot of room. You get to the wall quickly.
That's it. Strike 3 call again. Same pitch with which he got Lowry looking. 2 down.
Talking about the scrim sheet that got pulled in last night's ball game. Now you can see the wind as it's coming in from right field, and it takes about 15 to 18 feet off the carry of a fly ball to right field. What you don't get in right field, though, you make up for it in left field. The carry in this ballpark tonight is to left field, and it took some of the swirl out when they've opened up taken the scrim off and opened up that right side of the field. Wind is coming through the archway. It is definitely harder to hit the ball out to right field tonight and last night than it has been all year long.
Sean Murphy now. 10 home runs for the year, 39 batted in for the Oakland catcher. He's averaged about 1 home run for every 21 official at bats. That's pretty good power. At the knees, he got the low strike with that breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
That's the best breaking ball he's had in his last 4 starts.
Two down, nobody on. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Murphy. He's one of 2 catchers in the majors with 15 doubles and 10 homers. Ooh, now that one was close.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to get knee-high locations. You're going to get a little width on both sides of the plate at the knees, but you're not going to get that same width at the top of the strike zone. It's a strike for a lot of umpires. It's not for Lance Barrett. Really, that's what you're worried with. You're worried about Barrett's strike zone.
And he got a piece of it to stay alive. 2-2.
You know, there is a rule book strike zone, and we show you the box on a nightly basis, but really that really is irrelevant to what the actual strike zone is. It's that strike zone that umpire that night has, and they all differ. And as a pitcher and a hitter, you have to figure out what it is each day.
Yeah, that box that we see, that computerized StatCast box, the umpire's not seeing that.
Nope.
Sometimes it's hard to remember that when we see it, but he doesn't see it. Three and two the count to the dangerous Murphy. Elvis Andrus is on deck. 2 down in the inning. Second baseman Solano is almost up the middle for Murphy. Strike 3 called, and just as you pegged it, Mike, that ball maybe even a little off the inside, but it was down and called a strike. 3 consecutive Athletics called out on strikes.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
Well, Giants Quick Pick presented by Coors Light is a new predictive game for fans to play free through the Ballpark app. You can predict what's going to happen before every home game, and you can win prizes like Alaska Airlines flight credit. Download the Ballpark app, play from home or at Oracle Park, and make your quick picks to get in the game.
Alex Dickerson, that's in the dirt. 1 ball to no strikes facing Frankie Montas. Dickerson got the start against the right-hander Ohtani on Wednesday in Anaheim and had a 3-hit game against Ohtani. He's the only big leaguer ever to have 3 hits in a game.
Put that on your resume.
Against that hard-throwing right-hander. And although he didn't throw that much harder than Frankie Montas does. 3-0 the count. And swinging away and hitting a high foul out of play off to the left.
You know, the other thing, too, that there is a similarity between Ohtani and Montas in that they are not max out guys. They're throwing at a speed that they can control. That speed just happens to be high 90s. But he's not putting 100% effort into that pitch.
Another high foul. This one off the left field line into the lower deck. 3-2.
And that really is a significant thing because guys who don't max out on every pitch, they last longer. They can eat up more innings. They have a longer career. Guys that max out on every pitch, well, their body eventually it breaks down.
And he walks him. Now a brief message from Pacifico. So the Giants get their leadoff man aboard, and here comes Brandon Crawford now. Crawford, who is at the start of the day anyway, was tied for 3rd in the National League in RBIs with 50. 7th in the league in home runs with 16. And the high strike there.
Right over the middle of the plate. You don't want to make a habit of throwing mistakes up around the belt. Brandon Crawford. He likes those mistakes up there.
Solano on deck. Fastball again right out over the heart of the plate, although down just above the knees, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, if you're a hitting instructor and you see a guy with power take that kind of swing, you're happy. Because he had his legs underneath that swing. He had everything in that swing that he could possibly put into it, and he just missed it. He was timed right to it, fouled it straight back.
Going outside in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dickerson got a leadoff walk, the first base runner of the game. There's Solano in the on deck area doing some stretching. Olsen on the bag at first with Dickerson. The shortstop Andrews almost right up the middle for Brandon Crawford. And that's all for Crawford.
Good changeup. You cannot throw a better changeup than that. He's had 2 strikeouts. Both have been swing and miss strike 3s with the changeup. It just gets up there and it leaks, but you're so geared for 97. And to get to 97, you have to cheat. You can't see 97 and react to it. You got to start moving towards that 97 in anticipation. And when you do that, you're so susceptible to a good changeup. And that's what that last pitch was. In fact, it was a great changeup.
Donovan Solano now, 1 out, 1 on in the second. And he pours that one right down the middle for a called strike. Dodgers won their game 3-2 at Dodger Stadium over the Cubs. Cody Bellinger, a home run in the last of the ninth to end the game. So the Dodgers have taken 2 in a row now from the Cubs, including last night. One ball and 2 strikes, 96 miles an hour with that one to the outside and the vicinity of the outside.
You know, it's important when you know you have an umpire that's going to give width, especially one that gives it on both sides of the plate. You have to know that. You have to know you have to expand your strike zone. It makes it a lot tougher for a team that likes to grind, get pitches out of a pitcher.
A little further off the outside with that one.
When you see a big strike zone, I mean, it just kind of changes your game. And really, that is the game plan of both of these lineups. Both of these teams like to work pitches. But with a generous umpire, that plan gets altered.
Two and two the count. Dickerson at first. Base hit to right field. Dickerson will stop at second. Pinder gets it back in. That's the first hit of the game.
Well, and a 2-out opposite field base hit. I mean, you like that approach. A 2-strike opposite field base hit, I believe. I think two outs. Anyway, good opposite field at bat. And I think you go up there with that in mind. And that is somewhat of a concession with a guy who has a great changeup. You can't get greedy. You have to take what he gives you. And right field is a good plan to have if you're a right-handed hitter.
Steven Duggar now. Duggar with a .323 batting average and a .382 on base percentage. And he's been hitting with some power as well. 6 home runs, 1 homer every 21 official at bats. And that gets away from Murphy. The runners will advance. Dickerson to third, Solano to second.
Well, he never had a chance on that. I'm not so sure he wasn't crossed up. This ball cuts on him. No, he was not crossed up. He just couldn't get to it. It winds up hitting off the leg of Lance Barrett, the plate umpire. But 90-foot mistake.
One ball, no strikes to count. And the Athletics had the infield in, not all the way in basically halfway. Two and up.
The fastball that got past Sean Murphy, the A's catcher, he called a 2-seam fastball. He was expecting that movement to run away from the lefty. What he got was a ball that cut and ran into the lefty. That's completely unpredictable movement that he was not anticipating. Total wild pitch.
2-0 the count. First base open. Right-handed hitter on deck. And a check swing, ruled a swing by the plate umpire Barrett. That ball stayed too close to the plate to allow Dickerson to even think about heading home.
Now you ask catchers, who are the toughest pitchers to catch? And they'll tell you the guys who have unpredictable movement. And when you're talking about a guy with high 90s unpredictable movement, that can be a bit of a nightmare.
But that was some inside baseball there, Mike. That it wasn't the 2-seam fastball that he had called for. 2-1 the count. 3-1. And he may not be all that stressed if he ends up walking Duggar with first base empty and the right-handed hitter coming up next, Curt Casali. Although Casali been swinging the bat pretty well the last couple of weeks.
He's been one of the hottest hitters on this Giants team.
Three and one the count. And he walks him just a little bit low. And now the bases are loaded for Casali.
Last night in a 1-0 ball game, he comes up against Cam Bedrosian and does this. A solo shot. Gave the Giants some separation. Now a 1-run lead becomes a 2-run lead, and they made it stand. Mound meeting by Scott Emerson, the pitching coach for the A's. That's a Nextiva mound meeting. When you need business communications for the office, the home office, and everywhere in between, choose Nextiva. Right now, Montas is having a problem with all of his pitches in the stretch. He's not the same guy he is out of the windup. And I think that had everything to do with the conversation that Emerson had with him. The only thing you can really suggest is just to shorten up your stride a little bit. Try and be a little more compact. Because right now he's lost command of his release point with every pitch.
And Curt Casali to the plate now. The Giants with an opportunity here. But it may rest on Casali's ability to get somebody home. But the pitcher, Alex Wood, on deck. And there's ball one. The runners. The Giants with Dickerson at third, Solano at second, and Duggar at first. The fastest, of course, is Duggar by far. One of the Giants' fastest runners on the roster. The middle infield double play depth here. And that's a foul ball.
Well, if you're Casali, I mean, you're playing situational baseball. You're trying to get a ball deep enough in the outfield to score the run. As you mentioned, Dickerson is average speed at best at third. They do not have good arms on the corners. Very weak arm in left field with Kemp. They have a very strong arm in center field with Laureano, and an average arm with Pinder in right.
Casali, 8 hits, 19 at bats, 2 homers, 6 RBIs since coming back for the injured list. 1-1 the count. Check swing, and he went around with it. 1-2. Nasty pitch made there by Montas. Alex Wood, the Giants pitcher on deck, has not had a hit all year.
He'll be up there looking for a walk. That's his best chance.
He's had 3 of those. 1-2 to Casali. Down the left field line, but foul.
Montas came back with another breaking ball. I mean, that was a hanger. And he's ahead in the count, 1-2. You're in the driver's seat. You throw a breaking ball, that means get that thing down below the strike zone. Look at this thing hang up in the strike zone. That is a floater.
Montas, who had a 16-pitch first inning, retiring the side in order, has already thrown 24 pitches in this inning. And his slider has caused him some problems. .317 batting average against his slider. In the dirt. And again, bouncing away from Murphy, although he kept it in front of him anyway.
Yeah, if you're a runner at third base and a ball goes in the dirt and you can still see the chest protector of a catcher, you're not going anywhere. As soon as that catcher turns his back to you, that's what's time to go. That's what you're keying on. And this is a nice job. You just keep it in front of you.
Two and two the count to Casali. There have been 2 walks in the inning, a wild pitch in the inning. And this is the 26th pitch of the inning thrown by Montas. Struck him out.
Well, he winds up throwing another slider and just kind of a hanger as well. So he kind of gets away with one there. But Casali did not do a whole lot with it. And that's a significant get for Montas because now he faces a weak hitting pitcher.
It's almost like that slider ended up working like a changeup.
17 at bats, 0 for 17, 16 strikeouts. Up there looking for a walk.
3 walks in his 20 plate appearances. But in his actual official at bats, he has struck out 16 of his 17. A little bit of contact there. 0-1.
Yeah, contact's good. Confidence builder.
Okay, so he's working up to it here.
Well, that's going to be the last fastball he sees.
Bases loaded. Dickerson, Solano, and Duggar. But the pitch count has been building. Well, just as you expected, Mike. Not a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's going to see nothing but breaking ball. Hey, look, Alex Wood, I mean, he just doesn't have a lot of experience, and it shows up when you're facing a guy who's got great stuff like Montas.
0-2. Now, good eye.
On you.
No wonder he's got 3 walks. 1-2.
Just try and put it in play and see what happens.
The outfield, everybody's very shallow. Low one outside. 2-2.
Get the eye on that guy.
It was 98 miles an hour. I mean, he couldn't get a swing off if he wanted to. After seeing a couple of those sliders.
Hey, he's due. Come on.
2-2 the count. Chapman, and the inning is over. Second time in 18 at bats this year that Wood has put a ball in play. 0-0.
Baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, the Painter's Paint Store. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
A beautiful look at Baker Beach here at Oracle Park. No score. And we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Time now for the plays of the day, brought to you by your California Ford dealers. Alex Wood, well, he struck out Jed Lowry, Chad Pinder, and Sean Murphy, all called strike 3s, and that was the top of the 2nd inning, and that's our California play of the day by your California Ford dealers.
And Wood, who made the final out with his ground ball handled by the 3rd baseman Chapman, just now getting back to the mound here, and about to start his warm-ups as we head to the 3rd inning. He's had 4 strikeouts of the first 6 hitters that he has faced, all on called 3rd strikes. Now, a word from Toyota.
With 10 models to choose from, Toyota has more hybrids than any other brand. Now's your chance to get $1,000 cash back on Corolla Hybrid, or $750 cash back on the Venza Hybrid SUV, or choose $4,500 cash back on Prius Prime. Toyota, let's go places.
Alex Wood on the mound for the Giants, and I was checking Alex Wood's hitting. he's had 12 RBIs in his career and 23 hits, an .097 batting average before this year. But that's a little better than 0 for 18.
Oh yeah, 0 for 18 is 0 for 2021. But it's in there. They're coming. His hits are coming.
So if he were to get back to his lifetime batting average, he'd get hits in his next 2 at bats.
See, there you go. It's just that simple.
Elvis Andrus to lead off here for the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics began the day in the American League West, 2.5 games back of the first place Astros. The Astros had won, what, 11 in a row, but they had a doubleheader today in Detroit, and they split. Casey Mize, remember Casey Mize was the college star pitcher that the Tigers drafted with the first pick in the draft when the Giants took Joey Bart with the second pick. And Casey Mize has been pitching very well lately after getting off to a slow start. And he shut down the red-hot Astros in a 3-1 win. The Astros won game 2, so they split their doubleheader today. So Oakland, and that's a base hit for Andrus into right center, and it gets away. Duggar's throw to second, too late. A single and then an error.
Those are the errors that drive outfielders crazy. Outside corner, nice job of going to the right side of the field with that outside pitch. And Duggar realizing you've got to cut that gap off. Just got a little slop on the exchange, and Andrus, to his credit, was going hard. He had a nice turnaround first, saw the opportunity, and took advantage of the 90-foot gift. Just took his eye off the ball to see where Andrus was. Watch the ball in your glove, kids. And also hustle out of the box and anticipate you're going to get an error.
So here is Tony Kemp, and a strike call to the outside. Andrus, 32 years old. All those years with the Texas Rangers, broke into the big leagues back in 2009. And then played in 2 straight World Series with the Rangers. Tony Kemp, former Houston Astro. And too high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to double check, triple check. Andrus at second base. I mean, he's got 5 steals. If you don't pay attention to him, he'll take advantage of it.
Nothing here in the 3rd. Kemp the hitter, Montas the pitcher is on deck. Tony Kemp, who's been playing against all types of pitching here more recently. Mark Canha was placed on the injured list before the Athletics got to town, and Stephen Piscotty, another one of the regular Oakland outfielders, already on the injured list before that. And the count is 1-2. So 2 of Oakland's top outfielders are not available right now.
Pitching to Tony Kemp is like pitching to Joe Morgan. Same size, 5'6".
Nope. Did not get that on the outside, or a little bit off, and the count is 2-2.
Alex Wood thought he had strike 3 only because he's had that location called a strike.
Well, that moves the runner up. That's a productive out. But now the pitcher is up with a runner at 3rd. Stephen Piscotty has a left wrist sprain, and he's already missed about 10 days. Canha, a left hip strain. He just went on the injured list before yesterday's game. Giants bring the infield in here.
Well, and really, you don't know what you're going to get when you're pitching to a pitcher from the American League. But if he's from the Dominican Republic, like Montas is, you just assume he can swing the bat a little bit. Only because Montas has been playing baseball since he could walk. looking for a first big league base hit. Taken all the way. If a guy is not much of a hitter, and that's something that the A's coaching staff knows. If he's not a good hitter, you just put the take sign on. Hope for a walk. It's usually if a guy's not a good hitter, he's not a good bunter.
On the inside, and he was bailing big time on that one. 1-2.
Definitely had the take sign. And for a guy who's a big part of their rotation, they don't want to see him get hurt in the batter's box, so they just tell him to go up there and take 3.
Ramon Laureano on deck. There's Bob Melvin, Oakland manager. Strike 3 called on the inside.
Set in the inside corner, right there at 91, about 4 inches off the plate inside, but it has been a strike tonight, maybe 2 inches off inside.
I mean, it's really interesting how close to the plate Montas was standing. Like Justin Turner, he was right on top of the plate, and then every pitch came in, he was jumping away from it. So here is Laureano, and he gets up fairly close to the plate as well, although very deep in the box. He struck out looking his first time. Giants infield back, normal depth now. Runner at third, and 2 down. Working for the windup. 2-0.
Well, working from the windup only because as a left-handed pitcher, if you go into your stretch, you turn your back on the runner at third. And for a guy like Andrus, who's a good base stealer, I mean, if you're going to get a 40-foot lead, it is an opportunity to steal home. You don't see it very often, but this is a scenario where it could happen.
Time taken. Laureano backs away. 0-0 here in the 3rd inning.
If you're out, well, what the heck? You start off next inning with your leadoff hitter leading off. And if you're successful, you're a legend.
The straight steal of home. It does not often happen. Monty Irvin of the Giants, 1951, the day after Bobby Thompson's home run, stole home. That is in for a called strike 2. In the 1st inning of the 1st game of the World Series, the day after they'd all been celebrating all night long.
Wow.
Two and 2 with 2 down, and that hit him. So Laureano will be sent to first base. Andrus broke for the plate when he saw the ball get away, but it got away because it had hit Laureano.
Another slider. He's trying to throw the back foot slider, and he literally hits the back foot. I mean, ideally he wants to throw it about a foot in front of that back foot in the dirt. Here he catches the inside, but he hits him square.
So Lamonte Jr. will play in the back. Now you've got speed on both bases here. Laureano has 8 steals this year, leading the Athletics in that category. Matt Chapman, right-handed hitter with power, hit a fly ball to shallow left center his first time. 0-1. High fastball.
Stayed right in on the hands with it. Nice pitch. Chapman's so dangerous.
Solano playing almost behind second. The outfield shaded toward left. Steps off the slab. Wade on the bag at first with Laureano. So the right side of the infield is almost wide open here, as you see Andrus at third and Laureano at first. 0-2.
A good hard snap to that slider. Now he's got to think, which way do I go? Do I go above the hands with a fastball? Do I throw another hard slider at the back foot? Casali's going to come out and he's going to give some direction to the middle infielders as to what he's going to do. should Laureano decide to try and steal here.
It looked like he was getting instructions from the dugout before relaying those signs. 0-2. Too high. Chapman laid off.
Not a bad miss, though. You're going to throw the high fastball. You want to miss up, not down.
Andrus started the inning with a single, took second on the error by Duggar. He's at third. And that one to the backstop. The carom, and Casali can't handle it. And Oakland takes a 1-0 lead. Laureano to second on the wild pitch.
How about the only way I could describe that pitch is just a slip. That just squirts right out of his hand. For a guy who's had outstanding corner command all night long, for him to miss his target by 5 feet is bizarre. And the only way you could explain it is it's a slip. It just squirted right out of his fingers.
So now a run is in, Oakland's first run of the series, and a runner in scoring position. And I don't know if that might have been one of those if he'd held on to the ball. Maybe they get that call.
I think he hadn't been sitting outside, though. I mean, he was sitting on the inside corner with it. Take a look at the inside target. I agree with you. I mean, that's right out there in the outside corner. If he's setting an outside target, he gets it.
So 3-2 now. Matt Olson, the slugger, on deck. Pulled foul. Right past Oakland's third base coach, Mark Kotsay. 3-2 the count to Chapman. And he walks in.
Easy take. Hasn't had many easy takes. And right away, Andrew Bailey's going to come out and talk about it. He's going to talk about the slip on the wild pitch. He's going to talk about that last breaking ball that missed by 3 feet away.
So Oakland with 1 run in on a wild pitch, no less. And now the home run and RBI leader for the Athletics coming up. And suddenly Oakland with visions of doing some real damage here. Olson tied for 3rd in the American League in home runs with 20. 5th in the American League in RBIs with 53. He popped out to Wilmer Flores. His first time. Wilmer, the third baseman, although he was at second base at that time in the overshift. 0-1. Stressful inning for Wood. This is his 25th pitch of the inning. Off the left field line, foul. Back into the second deck. Olson, who is hitting .297 for the year, and he's hit even a little bit better than that against left-handed pitching. That's a foul.
Good pitch, good fight him off, stay alive. I mean, it just hasn't felt like he's let this inning slip away. You know, he had a 1-2 count when he hit Laureano on the back foot, and then he got ahead quickly 0-2 to Chapman. He just couldn't put him away. He had 2 slips in the sequence of pitches. But right now he's battling for his life, only because of the reputation in that batter's box right now.
Olson's got that straight up stance, slightly open. Struck him out. And he has 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. But Oakland is ahead 1-0. Wade, Yastrzemski, and Flores coming up.
All right, time now for our BMW Ultimate Performer. Last night, Johnny Cueto taking on the A's, and he was masterful. 7 innings strong, 5 hits allowed, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 102 pitches. He gets the win. His record now goes to 6-3. Our BMW Ultimate Performer. And he put on a show for 36,000 plus last night.
Johnny Cueto, 7 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. 102 pitches thrown, and Tyler Rogers for the 8th, Jake McGee for the 9th, and a 2-0 Giants win. Here is Lamont Wade Jr. against Montas. Strike 1. Wade hit a line shot at 105 miles an hour that hit Montas right in the hip. It dropped to his feet, and he threw him out. 0-2.
The breaking ball is so different out of the windup than it is in the stretch.
Hit hard, but backhanded by Lowry, and Wade is 0 for 2.
Well, you can bid right now on game used San Francisco Giants Negro Leagues jerseys worn during the June 19th game against the Phillies. This auction features San Francisco Sea Lions jerseys from Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, and more of your favorite players. Net proceeds benefit the local nonprofit organizations. The auction ends tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Learn more and bid at giants.auctions.mlb.com.
Yastrzemski struck out his first time.
Well, he's warm.
Strike 1 to Yaz, who struck out his first time.
Yastrzemski's back foot, I mean, his left toe is right on the line of the batter's box. I mean, he is slightly open stance. This looks like he's looking to pull the way he gets in the box.
He's not able to catch up to that Montas heater.
I mean, that's the appearance you have when you're pitching to a guy like that with a slightly open stance. Now, he may not be thinking to pull, but just the way he gets in the box looks like it.
One and 2.
Nice pitch, 97 on the hands. I used to give those hats away. I loved them.
You gave them away?
Well, they used to give them away at a game. It was one of the giveaways on the calendar. No, I didn't give mine away. Come on.
2-2 to Yaz. Right to the Gold Glover, Matt Olson. 2 down. When I was a kid, the Giants were the only team here, and I loved the Giants. I rooted for the Giants as Wilmer Flores comes up. Then the A's came out from Kansas City, 1968, and so I rooted for the A's too. I rooted for them both, and it wasn't such a big deal. And I liked it. The A's would play the Yankees in the Yankee Stadium. I could watch it on TV, whatnot. Because the Giants never got to go there. Then we never saw the Yankees. I got to see Mickey Mantle hit a home run in 1968 at the Oakland Coliseum. And went to just to see Mickey Mantle, having grown up with Willie Mays. How could you not go have a chance to see Mickey Mantle play?
I did the same thing in Southern California. I mean, it's such a great thing to have both leagues represented in the region where you live for that reason. I only saw Mickey Mantle play one game ever, and it was when he came to play the Angels.
Well, that's probably the only game I ever saw him play too, and he hit a home run into the bleachers in right field at the Coliseum when they had bleachers out there.
He didn't hit a home run the game I was at, but he hit a top spin liner, and you couldn't hit any harder, but it hit the base of the wall. It's a single.
At the Big A?
The Big A in Anaheim.
Flores. Laureano. And that is the inning. 1-0 Oakland. Dave Fleming will be along for the middle innings as we head to the fourth with Lowry coming up against Wood. 1-0 Athletics.
Welcome back to Oracle Park. It's 1-0 Oakland. We're in the top of the fourth inning. It gives me an opportunity to welcome my partner and my friend, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
You know what I missed?
What?
Tess Krukow singing the national anthem.
Where were you?
I didn't miss it today. We hadn't had a chance to hear her sing in a long time.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't do it last year. Well, I will tell her you said that. Thank you.
That was just great.
Yeah, she was pumped up.
Maybe her best rendition ever tonight.
I think so. I think so. I'll pass that along.
I thought she nailed it. Hey, Jed Lowry stepped out, didn't get time, and Alex Wood steals a strike. Jed Lowry's not happy.
That's a veteran talking to a veteran umpire. But one thing you do, if you're going to call timeout, you don't leave the batter's box unless you get it, and he never got it. When something like this happens, I mean, you come through with a pitch. Wood gets the strike. I think umpires are very generous in those situations. Although that wasn't that generous.
No, it was going to be a strike anyway.
But when an umpire does that to a hitter and a hitter gets upset, in my experience, it's very hard to throw a fastball by a guy who's that ticked off. He has a tendency to develop a little more bat speed. Thank you, umpire.
Lowry hit it hard, but right into the defense. One away.
He's still thinking about that strike.
Yes, he is. He's cranky.
Yeah, but hey, he made a mistake.
So now Chad Pinder. Alex Wood, it was such a nice smooth start those first two innings. Since then, at command's been a little more erratic. That one right in between Wade and Solano.
Nice opposite field at that. Well, Oracle Park reopens at full capacity this weekend. We all know it. It's the best time to support your team the second half of the season. You can be a second half season ticket member. You can see the Astros, the Mets, the Padres, oh yeah, the Dodgers for $6, and there are a lot of good seats available. Go to sfgiants.com/season. Forget the splash part.
You might see some splashes. I bet you will. Giants have been hitting some splash home runs this year. Sean Murphy, a little dribbler, is going to kick foul. I'm kind of hoping that Yaz does it tonight. It's his bobblehead night.
I mean, aren't you supposed to hit a home run on your bobblehead?
You are.
Way?
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those things you check off the list if you're in professional baseball and you finally make it to the big leagues. I mean, you never really talk about it with your teammates, but in the back of your mind, you want your own bobblehead. It's a big deal. I mean, maybe not so much now for Buster Posey, who's got like 20 of them, or Brandon Crawford, who's got 25. But when you get your first bobblehead, that's a big deal. And you know what last year was? No bobbleheads.
None. No cap giveaways, no two flap down hats. Another thing we missed last year. Big swing by Murphy and just a towering fly ball out to Yastrzemski. 2 down. You think you and Kipe have the most announcer bobbleheads in baseball history?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
Bob Uecker, I think, has that distinction. He's got a bunch of them.
Or if you're going to be behind somebody, that's a good guy to be behind.
Maybe Vin Scully.
Yeah, maybe Vin. Andrus, who singled and then scored the only run of the game.
Maybe Harry Carey. They're still giving those away. Retro bobbleheads. Whoever came up with the bobblehead was genius. Because they're fun. And they're better now than they ever have been.
I think some of the first ones were right here in San Francisco with the Giants. Solano throws out Andrus. And that's a nice inning for Alex Wood. We go to the bottom of the 4th. A's leading 1-0.
1-0 A's. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Time now for our Cadillac Ultimate Play. On this day in 2009, 12 years ago, Milwaukee. Well, look out, Benji. He almost gets trampled by the Wheaties. Never seen him move so fast. You know, the sausage race never, ever fails to disappoint.
That's the best one of all. I mean, you know, everybody likes the President's Race now in D.C.
That's a good one.
You got the Freeze in Atlanta is a good one.
That's a good one.
But the sausages, they're number 1.
Yeah, they're number 1.
Alex Dickerson takes a very low strike from Frankie Montas. Bottom of the 4th, Giants, who built a rally against Montas in the 2nd inning but could not cash it in. It started with Dickerson drawing a walk.
Giants need to get him in the stretch. Not the same pitcher in the stretch as he is from the windup. That's the type of thing that gets talked about in the dugout too. Any inconsistency that a pitcher has gets picked up immediately in a dugout.
I was surprised that he had never faced the Giants before tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was a bit unusual. We'd seen him a couple times in spring training. Well, more than a couple.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was so surprised.
He hasn't seen these guys.
2-2 to Dickerson.
I mean, when you take one at bat against a guy, whether it be in spring training or in the big leagues, I mean, you've got him. I mean, you know his stuff. Not necessarily going to go on your baseball card, but you know, that's why spring training is so valuable, especially against teams from the other league. Putting up a good at bat right now.
He is. He's made Montas throw a lot of pitches in 2 trips up. Crawford will be next.
I like Dickerson's swing right now. I mean, he's really getting his lower foundation set up early. Had a problem with that a little bit earlier in the year. Wasn't quite getting that front foot down in time. Not a problem anymore.
Strike 3 called. Man, 99 right at the knees.
Two-seam movement. And that is high velocity in a perfect location. That's when you tip your cap, head back to the dugout with as much dignity as you can find. It's a humble walk.
How do you beat that pitch?
You don't.
And now Crawford, who struck out his first time up.
Difference out of the windup compared to the stretch where Montas is simply command. And out of the windup, he has got total corner command with everything.
Crawford hits that one pretty well. Tony Kemp sprinting back, still going, and he'll make the catch. And then just for style, jump up against that wall.
I mean, if you want to go up against the wall, do it Bo Jackson style. Run up it. There you go. As soon as they left it back, you're thinking maybe a chance, but not now. Not even close. Montas or Kemp at 5'6". Puts it right in the sweet spot.
Donovan Solano with 2 down, swings at the first pitch, and that's going to be Laureano's ball. Carrying pretty well out there, but plenty of room for out number 3. So the Giants go in order, and we go to the 5th. It's 1-0 A's.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Twin Pine Casino and Hotel. It's the 60,000 Incredibile Slot Mania month every Saturday in June. Twin Pine Casino and Hotel.
Well, Giants fans are raving about their suite experience here at Oracle Park. You can get a private suite up for upcoming Cardinals and National games. Suites are available for as few as 8 guests, starting at $200 a person. Secure your suite at sfgiants.com/suite offers.
Great way to watch a game. You might get that view depending on what suite you're in. The Bay Bridge Series shrouded tonight in fog. Tony Kemp, then Frankie Montas, and then back to the top of the order against Wood, who's pitching much better tonight. That's a great sign for the Giants.
Yeah, he's had a better breaking ball, I think, than the last 4 starts. Tonight he has definitely got some good quick snap to it. For the most part, he's had pretty good command with it.
On the ground, Solano's there. Throws out Tony Kemp. So for the most part, he's throwing strikes and he's getting ground balls. That's his formula.
I mean, even in the 3rd inning when he gave up the unearned run, he had a 1-2 count on Laureano, hits him with a back foot slider, hit batsman. Then he gets an 0-2 count to Matt Chapman, and you're thinking he's going to put him away, and Chapman has a good at bat, milks a walk. And then it got hairy with Olsen coming in, a chance to do some real damage, and he winds up striking him out. So
yeah, he ultimately did a good job in that inning.
he had the ball slip out of his hand for a wild pitch, which allowed the run, and then a wide ball 4 pitch to Chapman that was missed by 3 feet. Hard to explain those pitches.
Montas strikes out swinging. 2 down. And now a brief message from Pacifico. Here's Laureano. 2 down, nobody on. And a close pitch, but called a ball. He's having a good year, Ramon Laureano. He's a good player.
He is a good player.
Great throwing arm in the outfield. He's got power.
Really athletic.
Can steal a base. One and 2. Alex Wood trying to make it a quick inning, and he just misses inside. On the ground, foul.
Good change up. Set that pitch up nicely with that 1-2 fastball. So every pitch you throw sets up the next pitch. Just threw a changeup, had him out front. That sets up a high fastball on the inside corner above the hands. Holy Toledo.
Great Bill King. Laureano, I thought he went. Yes, he did, says Tim Timmons. That's strike 3. So another strikeout for Alex Wood. A 1-2-3 inning, and the Giants will have Duggar leading off in the bottom of the 5th, down 1-0. Silver Oak, an official wine partner of the San Francisco Giants, collaborated with the team to release 3 limited edition etched bottle designs featuring the club's classic logos. Very cool. Classic SF logo available as a single bottle starting at $115 each, or collect all 3 with the Giants 3-bottle collector set on silveroak.com while supplies last. And I would imagine that they're not going to last. That would be a pretty good gift, I would think, for a wine-loving Giants fan. And we have a lot of those. Steven Duggar leads off for the Giants here in the bottom of the 5th against Montas. Slider over the outside for a called strike. Duggar walked his first time up. Just continues to have good at-bats for the Giants. Steven Duggar. Curt Casali on deck, and then the pitcher's spot, Alex Wood. 2-1. There's Curt. It's very encouraging that Duggar, not just getting hits, has been taking some more walks.
Oh, I look forward to his at-bats. 2 years ago, I did not. It tells you how far he's come. He's got a completely different level of confidence in that batter's box now. I mean, he doesn't think he can hit. He knows he can hit here.
2-2. He spoils that one foul.
Giants trying to get Montas in the stretch.
Diamondbacks keep adding on in San Diego. They've got a 6-0 lead. Maybe tonight's going to be the night. Maybe snap that road losing streak.
That's right.
Three and 2.
It's a good pitch, good take right there. 3-2 changeup. Get a lot of swing and misses at that one. And he'll back it up too. He'll come back and throw the same pitch 3-2.
See if he does. He did, and Duggar took it. Ball 4.
It's a great at bat, and they do indeed get that leadoff hitter. What Montas has shown the Giants so far in this game is that once he gets in the stretch, he doesn't have the same command that he has in the windup. So getting a leadoff hitter and getting him to the stretch early in an inning, that's a big deal, even if it's happening here at the bottom of the lineup.
Casali, who battled with Montas with the bases loaded his first time up, but ultimately he struck out. Now gets a second look at the A's right-hander. Ball 1. Two and 0.
John Murphy going to come out and talk about it. Conversation's going to be quick. You're pulling that left shoulder out. You've got to drive that shoulder through the target. It's something a catcher can see quickly. Hitters can see the same thing.
I think Sean Murphy's got some Buster Posey in him. I mean that as very high praise. Like, he's a guy at a young age. He's got a lot of leadership skills.
Yeah, he does. Totally. Field general. Dominic Leone now starting to get heated up. This may be a deke.
Ooh, friendly call.
That changes everything right there.
Duggar with his speed at first, and they're going to pay attention to him over there. Your old teammate.
He's a good catcher. Good teammate.
He's been a great manager in Oakland.
He really has. I mean, he's a guy that understands chemistry, how to forge it. He's not a guy that makes excuses. With him, you have accountability.
Two and two to Curt Casali. A little pop up behind first. Pinder chasing, Olsen chasing. Nobody's going to get there. I mean, I find that pretty amazing. He's not going to catch Connie Mack. That's pretty sure. But he's passed Tony La Russa this year.
That's amazing. It really is.
Most wins as an Oakland manager, Bob Melvin. Casali pulls that one foul.
Seems to me that the message that Sean Murphy gave Montas is throw the fastball, because he responded with 4 fastballs in a row.
Another 2-2. He threw the slider and missed with it.
Hasn't been his friend down the stretch.
He really got away with one to Casali that last at bat.
Yeah, he threw a hanger right down the middle, and Casali swung through it.
(3-2). Well, you think Duggar might be going here?
I don't think so. Not with a pitcher on deck. But if he goes, then they're going to pinch hit for Wood, who's throwing 83 pitches.
There goes Duggar. Strike 3 from his knee. The throw not in time. So Duggar steals second base. Montas gets the strikeout.
So they're not going to pinch hit. They're going to let Wood go up there. Breaking ball on a 3-2, and just really from the knees a quick flip. And whoa, stay on the base.
Yeah, if Jed Lowry could have kept that tag on, he would have been out. Pretty impressive throw, all things considered.
Well, the way that Alex Wood has thrown the ball the last 2 innings, I mean, I can see why Gabe Kapler wants to keep him in this ball game. Threw the ball great. Plus, with 1 out, I mean, you're going to get your leadoff hitter up.
Alex Wood has done a lot of things well this year. Hitting is not one of them.
Hey, he made contact his last at bat.
He did, which that's an improvement.
For the second time this year in 19 at bats. Oh, no, I guess it's 18 at bats.
Yeah.
He struck out 16 times. He's made contact twice.
Here's our old friend,
Yusmeiro Petit.
He's continued to pitch well for the A's. Montas' 87th pitch of the night coming. It's only the 5th inning. 2-0. Lamont Wade on deck. He's 0 for 2, but he's hit the ball hard both times.
He will not take an at bat against Montas this inning.
Wow, that's a called strike. That spot on the outside that Lance Barrett's been given. On the ground to short. Duggar broke for third. Andrus is going to throw out Wood. He's put the ball in play twice tonight.
Hey.
I will say, if Montas does stay in here, that's good base running by Duggar. You get to third. Montas likes to spike that splitter down.
This is a little bit of a roll of dice for Bob Melvin. I'm surprised, but Petit ready to go. Surprised he's given Montas a chance to pitch to Wade only because of the 2 at bats that Wade has had against Montas. He's barreled the ball twice.
Nothing to show for it. Let's see if he can come through here. Chance to tie the game or more. Pull that one foul. Going to be playing a lot with Brandon Belt on the injured list. Tying run at third. Oh, that's that splitter.
Can't throw any better than that. I mean, you see this first time in an at bat, you're just thankful it's not the 3rd strike. There wasn't one time where that ball was coming to home plate that he didn't think it was anything but a fastball.
0-2. Wade got another splitter.
Two pitches.
Giants are doing it again tonight. It's what they do. Wade behind in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. And he stays alive. Fouls that one back out of play.
I mean, a really quality pitch. You're looking at an 88-mile-an-hour changeup that is just so deceptive, and then he follows it up with 98 across the letters. To even get a piece of that at that velocity is a great save to stay alive.
Oh, 2. Well, he got another splitter, and he fights another one off foul.
Now that was a hanger. Got away with one there. The more you see that changeup, the better you are at having a chance to do something with it.
See if he goes back with the fastball. He did, and Wade hits a high drive. Right field. It is gone. What an at-bat, Lamont Wade. And it puts the Giants ahead 2-1.
What an at-bat indeed. Bob Melvin rolled the dice, and Lamont Wade burned him. He had two great at-bats coming into this one, and after a quick 0-2 from Motas, we watched him fight off some nasty fuzz to stay alive, and he finally got a mistake right over the middle of the strike zone, and Wade puts it out of the ballpark. That's the at-bat of the night.
So now Mike Yastrzemski, he swings at the first pitch and skies one to left. Maybe his best friend in the whole world is going to catch it, Tony Kemp, for out number 3. But the Giants go ahead, and that was just fun to watch. Lamont Wade Jr. puts the Giants ahead 2-1.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by WebEx. The future of work is hybrid. WebEx by Cisco.
Well, what a Saturday night in San Francisco, and now the Giants have a lead. 6th inning, it's 2-1. Lamont Wade Jr. his 5th home run of the year, and that was just an awesome moment for him. Alex Wood, Giants showing some faith in Alex. His spot came up, and they let him hit for himself, stay in the game for this 6th against the big hitters. 3rd time through. He gets the fastball by Chapman. It's 1-1. Now Chapman pops one up. And guess who's going to go back there and make the catch? He's still learning over there.
Well, that's a difficult play for a first baseman because you're going straight back. But right now, I want to go back to the moment where he hit the ball out of the ballpark in a 2-strike count. A look from the signature camera of this ballpark, the splash cam. And with that swing of the bat, Giants take the lead. What an at-bat that was.
You know, you think for Lamont Wade, who last year got a chance to play briefly with the Twins, this is his first extended big league opportunity. Last year there were no fans. I mean, that's the biggest roar he's ever generated in his life.
Totally.
He'll never forget that home run. Matt Olson takes a ball.
I don't think we will either.
I'm not going to forget that one.
That was the big leagues right there. Every part of that at bat.
Against a guy with just great stuff, throwing his best pitches. Behind him to count the whole way. And you can see why Gabe Kapler and the Giants like Lamont Wade so much.
Well, there's a lot of Giants fans that will agree with you.
I think he's impressed everybody also with his defense. He's made some throws from left field, some throws from first. Olsen a little dribbler. Crawford will try to flip it with the glove, and it's a little high. So Olsen's going to be safe. I think that's the only chance that Crawford had.
He had to try to go with a flip, and when you go with a flip, you know, it depends on where you get it on your web. If you get it too far out the web, you lose control of it, and you can miss high just like this. It's a fun play, and it's really one that they do work on the flip, not to first base, but to second base at infield. But look where he gets it. Yeah, he actually got a little bit too deep in the glove. So it kind of cestas out of the glove like a highlight player. Anyway, you needed a 6'10" first baseman.
Lamont Wade's a lot of things. He's not that.
No.
Lowry on the ground, and that's a base hit. So Jed Lowry right through the left side. Olsen's chugging for third, and he's going to make it. Good base running by Matt Olson. Here come the A's.
Take a look at the payoff pitch. This will be the last one that he throws. Had a little hang to it. Right out there middle in at the belt. And played him towards the line. Gave him the 5.5 hole, and he finds it. So Olson, this plays in front of him. He's not relying on Mark Kotze over in the third base coaching box. That is his call to go.
So Wood is out. Giants going to the bullpen when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Fast is back, only in theaters right now. Vin Diesel.
F9. We'll be doing that promo in what, 2034? It'll be F16 or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That franchise may never go anywhere. Giants have a 2-1 lead, but the A's right away are threatening, and they've knocked Alex Wood out of the game. Dominic Leone comes in. He's pitched great for the Giants.
12th time he's come in. At ERA 1.54 with 14 strikeouts and 11 2/3. He'll pitch for the double play early in the count, and then if he can get to a 2-strike, a 1-2 or an 0-2, he'll pitch for the strikeout.
So Alex Wood has to watch now. Instead of Chad Pinder, Mitch Moreland is going to hit against Dominic Leone. First and third, one out. One thing Gabe Kapler told us before this series started was you start to learn more and more about your players, and he really thought Dominic Leone handled the extra inning spot in Anaheim beautifully, and it made him think, hey, he's a guy I can lean on in an existing inning. Enter in a spot like this. Way inside, and Casali can't find it. Now Olson didn't see it, so that's a break for the Giants, although Jed Lowry does move into scoring position.
Well, in a way that redefines the situation. It's now a pure strikeout situation, but with an open base. Little slider that kicks away from Casali, and this is panic, right? A runner at third, you don't know where the ball is. It's just an awful feeling for a catcher. But in a strikeout situation with an open base, even though it's a 2-0 count, you do not give into the strike zone. You just stay to a corner, hope he chases, throw your pitch. If you walk him, big deal. You put the force back in order.
Giants are going to set the defense a little differently too now. Big swing and a miss on that hard cutter.
That's exactly where you should throw that thing. Down and in, pitch for a corner. Early in the year, bullpen ERA a little problematic. They have ironed things out. They've had a good June.
This guy's been a reason why. With the slider this time.
Excellent pitch. Again, a walk here is not the end of the world. You're pitching to try and strike him out. And look, Moreland's got a great eye. He's not a guy that is easy to get to swing out of the strike zone. You just don't want to give him anything over the middle of the plate. If he's looking to get something in the air to try and score that runner for third with a sac fly.
Three-one pitch on the ground and past the drawn in infield. So that's going to tie the game. Lowry will stop at third. Yastrzemski up with the ball. But Mitch Moreland pulls one right on through. It's 2-2.
Quality at bat. He works the count in his favor. When you go back and take a look at the replay on this thing and you watch Casali, the catcher, he starts to stand up. He wants that ball across the letters or higher. He did not want it in the strike zone. And that's a mistake from Leone. And he paid for it.
Guy Bolt comes in to run for Moreland. And and he'll probably stay in the game to play out in right field. Bob Melvin using his bench a lot like the Giants will use it in that kind of spot, and it works. 2-2.
He's sensing this is his opportunity right here, and he's going for it.
Cutter for ball one. John Murphy swings away and pops it up. Now Yastrzemski was playing deep, so he's got a long way to come, but he'll get there. And he'll throw into Wade, the cutoff man. 2 down. Big out.
A non-productive out, indeed. It's as good as a strikeout. Runner at third, less than 2 outs.
So now Elvis Andrus. Well, Mitch Moreland got the hit. Elvis Andrus comes up. Isn't it kind of strange how the A's have 2 players that the Giants faced all the way back in the 2010 World Series with the Rangers? Both those guys.
They've been good players for a long time.
It's a long career. Andrus has a hit in 2 at-bats tonight. Big opening on the right side, and that ball in the dirt again. Leon's been spiking that slider.
You have to believe that you can do that. I mean, you don't believe that your catcher can block those breaking balls down the dirt, you're going to hang them. 2-2 ball games. You do not want to hang breaking balls up around that strike zone.
Bolt dives back safely. You better be able to run if your name's Bolt. And he can. He's got good speed.
Well, he's got a green light if he gets a good jump. But in this situation here, you cannot get thrown out.
No. Two down, a run in. The A's have tied the game. He started, Bolt did, and then Andrus checked his swing. It glanced off his bat.
Well, Casali throws well. He's got a quick release, and Dominic Leone is quick out of the stretch. That was 1.15 seconds. So average is 1.25. Anything lower than that is preferred. So as fast as Sky Bolt is, the odds were in the Giants' favor to try and throw him out should he have tried to go.
Good cutter. Another throw over there. Pressure pitches here for Dominic Leone. A's have tied the game, trying to go ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Elvis Andrus. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. 95.
Arlene Garcia, he's ready to go. this inning extends past Elvis Andrus, you'll see Harleen Garcia facing Tony Kemp.
1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good save by Casali again. Another slider.
You know, it's crazy to say this, but it gives you an idea of the mentality of a big league catcher. When he put down that breaking ball on a 1-2 count, that's exactly where he wanted it. You know, catchers that aren't confident with a runner at third base in a tied game, they don't want that ball in the dirt. Just a little insight to the confidence that Casali has and the pitchers have in him.
2-2. Bolt runs, and it's fouled back. He went with the fastball, and Andrus, I think, would like to see that pitch again. It wasn't a bad pitch, but he had a pretty confident swing. Two. Fouled. Another one.
Everything's been away in this at bat. And the right side of the infield is wide open. I'd like to see one shot above the hands inside or another ball in the dirt.
Two. Just got a piece. Wow.
It's been an outstanding fight between these two. You saw the pitch that he just fouled off. That was off plate about 8 inches. So the only way you can get to that as hitters, you're leaning out there. If you lean out there, that allows you to get that pitch, you're exposed inside. And if you go inside and you hit him, it doesn't matter. You got an open base.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at bat here between Leon and Elvis Andrus in a tie game, 6th inning. Bolt runs again, and it's grounded to third. Wilmer Flores has it. His throw is right there for out number 3. That was a good battle between those two. The A's get a run, but only one. Tie game as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Let's check out what's on tap, brought to you by Pacifico. Giants taking on the A's tomorrow, game 3 of the 3-game set. 1 o'clock game with the pregame live at 12:30. Then it's on to LA as the rivalry continues. Monday, Tuesday nights at 7 with pregame live at 6:30. Tomorrow's game features a couple of left-handers going at each other. Sammy Long on the hill for the Giants. Cole Irvin, the lefty for the A's. Right now it's a new pitcher for the A's. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's going to be Yusmeiro Petit. 38th time he has come into a game this year. Look at those numbers. 7-1 on the year with a 3.45 or a 3.40 ERA. Impeccable command of the corners.
It's kind of old school. Yusmeiro Petit.
Yeah, I mean, he throws beneath the average pitching speed, which in itself is deceptive, but he does it with such consistent corner command. Cuts the ball, 2 seams the ball. He's got a change up. Never makes mistakes out over the middle plate.
He just had so many great moments with the Giants. He was such a big part of some of those championship Giants teams. Skye Bolt, as we said, stays in to play right field. See if Wilmer Flores can start a rally for the Giants. He's been very selective recently. He's gotten hot. He's also been taking a lot of pitches. And you kind of think of Wilmer as a really free swinger, aggressive swinger. He takes a bunch of walks. He's really turned into a good all-around hitter. That one not hit hard. Backhanded for out number 1.
Well, bring your kids to Oracle Park tomorrow for a giveaway cap. The first 5,000 kids age 14 and younger are going to receive a Giants Kids Cap presented by Dignity Health. Giants host the Oakland A's tomorrow at 1:05 as part of a Welcome Home weekend in celebration of a full return to Oracle Park. Get tickets to this and all Giants home games at sfgiants.com/tickets.
So then, as you were showing us on that schedule, the Giants finish off the homestand tomorrow, then they go out on the road. That's the last road trip before the All-Star break.
They're getting real close to the halfway point of the season.
Yep. Tonight, game number 76. Petit against Alex Dickerson.
Just try and shave corners inside, outside. Such a deceptive delivery too. I mean, he's got short arms and he's a short arm delivery guy, and those guys, they give you the feeling in the batter's box that they're quicker than what you actually get.
Good take.
That's a good changeup.
He filled so many roles for the Giants. He was a swing man. He could spot start if you needed a starter.
He was 1 out away from a perfect game.
He literally was 1 out away from a perfect game. He set an all-time record, didn't he, in a Giants uniform, of most hitters retired in a row?
Yeah.
Spread over several games out of the bullpen, but still. And then, most memorably of all, Game 2 in that division series in 2014.
6 shutout innings on the road.
Dickerson lines that one into right center field. And that's a base hit for Alex Dickerson. Bolt hadn't played perfectly, so instead of a double, it's just a single.
That's 111 miles an hour off the bat. That's an alarm clock going off in the Giants dugout. It's amazing what a line drive can do to fire everybody up. You can break all the pom-poms you want out, start shaking them, yelling, screaming, but one loud line drive like that does more.
I don't mind pom-poms, though.
Yeah, pom-poms are good.
Here's Crawford.
Power changeup.
I was talking to Brandon the other day. He said his kid's been coming to a lot of games, and they're still pretty young, but he said, man, they're into these games. They're like watching every pitch. Close. So he's got the pom-pom section, the Crawford family section.
It's the same comment my wife and my daughter, when they come to the games, they'll sit behind the Crawford family and they're entertaining. They get up and they're into it indeed.
Strike 2.
Just never gives in. He's a dart thrower.
Nobody at third. Crawford's got that swing where you pitch him away, he'll slash one into left field. See where Petit goes with this one.
Power changeup. Beautiful thing about a great changeup is you can get by with poor location.
Crawford to center field. Laureano broke in, now sprinting back, and he'll make the catch. That was hit pretty hard.
Just not the same kind of carry in this ballpark. the last couple of nights that we've seen the rest of the year. Reason for it, they took the scrim out in right field and then changed the wind swirl in the stadium.
I know it's only a couple of games, but it sure feels that way to me.
It has not gone unnoticed in the Giants dugout.
So 2 down. Donovan Solano takes a ball. Had a good rip. That hit Solano had back in the second inning. That to me is sort of classic Donovan Solano.
I agree. Right field, and I think he was thinking right field the whole at bat.
Might have been thinking right field there.
It's not a bad idea when you have a guy with a changeup like Petit who can corner pitch you. He's not going to give you much to hit. He's not going to give you something to pull. You're thinking right field. I mean, you're gonna allow the ball to travel to you. It's going to get deeper to you. You can do more with it. You're not going to be out in front. You're not going to have reach in your swing.
Almost like an approach you might take against a good sinker ball. That was a curve from Petit.
He's got 4 pitches, and with his command, I mean, he's not afraid to throw anything. Even a pitch he hasn't thrown all night long, he'd throw it 3-2 with the bases loaded. I mean, he's got that kind of confidence in his command.
Three and 2.
Sometimes he'll do that. He'll throw a fastball out there with no intention whatsoever to throw a strike to set up a 3-2 changeup.
See if he throws that 3-2 change. He did. Maybe more like a cutter, and he missed.
I think it was a cutter. Good call.
Ball 4.
Good at bat. Pitch did not miss by much.
It's the first walk he's given up since May 15th. That's a long time.
Just doesn't give up walks.
Good job, Donovan Solano. Now you got Dickerson, who, you know, his Dickerson reputation, all bat slugger, but he runs pretty well.
Yeah, Dickerson at second base. I mean, he takes a while to get going, but once he gets that beer truck rolling, it can move.
Steven Duggar, who's walked both times up, has been great in these kind of at bats for the Giants. Takes the changeup. Stay loose.
See the wind whipping the tail of the umpire's coat.
Right there on the corner.
Change up in, strike 1. Fastball outside corner, strike 2.
So now Steven Duggar's got a fight on his hands. Behind in the count 0-2 with a lot of different things that he could see. Went with the fastball and missed high.
Just give him a sniff. Establish the speed in mind. Cleanse the palate of the knees location by throwing something above the strike zone. Now you've got a changeup set up to throw below the strike zone, or a cutter to throw below the strike zone. Every pitch you throw sets up another pitch.
1-2.
I think too about his fastball. It's straight as a string. So here's a guy who's got below average velocity, and his ball doesn't have great movement, but yet he's been remarkably successful in a 13-year career. Command.
Big spot in this game right here, right now. 2 on, 2 out. And from 0-2 to 2-2 to Steven Duggar, who just continues to be unfazed in spots like this. Now, maybe he gets a hit here, maybe he doesn't, but he looks confident. Hasn't pitched as well against the Giants as he did with the Giants in his career. Just checking.
They might be trying to ice him down too. Make him wait, make him wait, make him wait, make him antsy. Then throw a change up. So now they're going to change the set of signs.
Defense also trying to stay loose. All right, finally that meeting's over. So Duggar's had a long time to think about it. In a 2-2 count. Petit to the plate. And Duggar rips one. A diving stab by Lowry. And he throws him out. What a play. That looked like a hit off the bat, and it looked like a lead for the Giants. Instead, John will come back on the TV side and join Mike with the game still 2-2.
All right, time now for our game summary. It's brought to you by Toyota. Through 6 full innings of play, it's all tied up 2 apiece. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the A's. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Giants. A pitching duel with Alex Wood and Frankie Montas. The big swing of the bat for the Giants. A 2-run homer is 5th of the year for Lamont Wade Jr. And we stand tied 2-2. And that is our Toyota game summary. Right now, we have a new pitcher for the Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's going to be Harleen Garcia coming in for the 22nd time this year. Top of the 7th, 2-2 tie. And once again, here's our Hall of Famer, my friend John Miller.
All right, Mike, and so Garcia, the left-hander, to face the left-handed hitting Tony Kemp. The pitcher's spot due up next. High and tight to Kemp. And the Athletics send out Vimael Machin, who is a left-handed hitter, into the on-deck circle as the would-be pinch hitter. They only have 1 right-handed hitter left on their bench, and that is the other catcher, the former Giant, Aramis Garcia. Giants 2, Athletics 2, 7th inning. And that's a strike. Kemp has twice grounded out to second, although his first one a very productive out that helped set up Oakland's first run, which ultimately scored on a wild pitch. And that's a foul ball handled by Lamont Wade Jr. right next to Mike Aldretti, Oakland's first base coach and a one-time Giants first baseman. Giants now do some shuffling on the infield, and Wilmer Flores moves over to the second base spot. He was staying around third until 2 strikes. Crawford back at short. Tony Kemp, former college teammate of Mike Yastrzemski. Two and 2 the count. Just off the outside. 3 and 2. And getting a walk, that's been a big part of Kemp's game. His batting average .284, but his on-base percentage .406. He's drawn 29 walks this year. He's only had 141 official at bats. Duggar on the run. Gets there.
Well, let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Giants in the bottom half of the sixth. Jed Lowry gets about 3 steps and has a dive. Snags what would have been a base hit that would have put the Giants ahead. Watches it right into the pocket. And he had a little bit of an emotion. And Bob Melvin going, that's what I'm talking about. Yeehaw daddy.
So now Machin, who was just recalled from the minor leagues yesterday when they put Mark Canha on the injured list. And that's ball 1. And Canha, that's a big loss for the Athletics. Mark Canha, who has been a guy who can play different positions, an excellent hitter with power, gets on base a lot. Also without Stephen Piscotty, another one of their regular outfielders and a power hitter.
Well, both guys have done well against the Giants.
2-0 the count. Now 2-1. The right-handed hitting Laureano is on deck. Giants have more action going in their bullpen too.
And a lot of tense moments in this series. Zach Littell starting to get stretched.
Wow. Three and 1. There's a former Giant also warming up in the bullpen right now. But for the Athletics, that is Sergio Romo. 3-1 the count. Tough hop there for Solano, but he played it cleanly and got his man. 2 down.
Kind of got an in-betweener that came up on him. Wayne Kuiper watching this game tonight will appreciate that effort.
So 2 down, and here is Laureano, who is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning after falling behind in the count. And one of Oakland's power hitters, 13 home runs this year, even though he missed some time on the injured list. There's Sergio Romo heating up in the Oakland bullpen. 2-2 the score. And it's 0-2 now. It changed up on him.
He's got 3 good pitches. Early in the year, he did not have that changeup. And the breaking ball wasn't quick. He was just mechanically messed up. Not anymore.
Off the inside.
Good 0-2 pitch. Get an 0-2 advantage. I mean, you don't want to throw something out in the strike zone. And that's a pretty good take right there. Confident take from Laureano.
That is foul. Very much foul, way off the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A lot of the things we've been seeing from Giants hitters this year and last, in the short season last year. That patience. That's the same kind of stuff you see from a lot of these Oakland hitters.
Exactly. A lot of similarities in these teams.
One and 2 the count. Way outside. That one got away from it. 2-2 now.
Definitely seen a couple slips tonight. We saw a couple with Alex Wood.
Matt Chapman is on deck. 2 down, nobody on. You see Solano right behind second base against this right-handed hitter. Well, now he's gone as far as he can go. From 0-2, now it's a 3-2 count. Arizona taking out some frustrations on the Padres tonight, leading 8-0 in the 7th inning down at Petco Park. On the out-of-town scoreboard, going to the top of the 7th down there. 3-2. He foul tipped it.
Just caught a piece.
Not quite a strikeout. Almost. 3-2. Harlan Garcia will try it again. For the dangerous Laureano. And Laureano gets a walk just a little bit high. Only the second walk allowed by the Giants pitching in this game, plus the time that he got hit by the pitch. So Chapman's coming up, and the Giants do have a right-hander up in their bullpen. 3 batters have been faced here by Harlan Garcia. And there's the call from Gabe Kapler. Zach Littell will be coming in. 2-2, runner at first, 2 down here in the 7th inning. And we'll be right back.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, Giants fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Break free from the big 3. Save with Xfinity Mobile.
Giants 2, Athletics 2, top of the 7th inning. And pitching change here when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Littell against the powerful Matt Chapman with a runner at first and 2 down. Laureano, who also is Oakland's #1 base stealer, although as a team they don't run all that often, but he has 8 steals in 11 tries this year, and he is the possible go-ahead run. Foul ball right past third base coach Mark Kotze. Chapman in this game is flied out to shallow left center, walked, and popped up to Lamont Wade Jr., who went well out into right field to catch it. Two down, runner at first. That ball is driven deep into right field. Way back there, still going. It is gone. It's a 2-run opposite field homer from Matt Chapman, and that breaks the tie. 4-2 Oakland. 10th home run of the year for Chapman.
You think about the 0-2 to a walk at bat from Laureano, sets up this, a high fastball outside corner at the letters, and just Chapman gives you an idea just how strong his hands are. I mean, this ball is killed, and for a right-hander to hit it out to right field, that's impressive.
Now Olsen, and at third base, right along the foul line in foul ground. Flores takes it, but now the Athletics have gone ahead 4-2 Oakland. We go to the last of the 7th.
Powered by Cisco WebEx, this is Greg Papa. Stick around after the game for Toyota Giants post-game live. I'll be joined by George Contos and Carlos Ramirez. We'll play a game of Name That Giants, and we'll also get you ready for a summer Sunday. Therese Vignal and Carmen Q on Toyota Giants post-game live right after the game.
All right, Greg. Looking forward to it as we go to the last of the 7th inning. And Sergio Romo, who got the Giants, helped get him 3 World Series rings, comes in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
30th game of the year for Romo. Really hasn't changed a whole lot. His arm slot's a little bit lower. Age will do that to you, but velocity right around 85 miles per hour. Still, the big pitch, the best pitch is the no dot slider. He throws a lot of them to righties, lefties.
Curt Casali leads off, and that's off the inside. Mike Tauchman comes out on deck with the pitcher due up next. Giants are down by 2. Casali has struck out twice in this one. Foul tipped.
We talk about Yusmeiro Petit and the great command he has. Well, I mean, the same thing can be said for Sergio Romo. And for Romo, it's a little bit harder because he throws from the side. His release point a little more difficult to control than Petit's. But one thing about Romo, you never ever worried about him throwing strikes, ever.
Well, a couple of swings and misses here by Casali, who's only faced Romo a couple of other times, and he got hits both times. Two and two.
Romo in to start his 14th year at the big league level.
Wow. Just got a piece of that one. That one might have looked like it was going to hit Casali on its way in. Too low.
Good pitch, good take. Mike Tauchman on deck.
And he struck him out. Mike Tauchman, the pinch hitter now.
Now we go back to Wednesday, game 2 of the Angels series. And in a bat with a couple on, he was down to his last strike. He had struck out 5 times in the game, and he comes up with a 3-run homer. And he completely saved his day. Giants would win that ball game. And you saw the reaction from his teammates cheering for him.
I saw a note as to how rare that is. Just a shallow fly ball and caught by Laureano.
How rare striking out 6 times in a game is?
Well, to strike out 5 times and hit a home run in the same game. 5th time in history that that's ever happened.
In baseball history.
In the history of the game.
Wow, that is rare. And good for him. I mean, he's a guy that he busts his tail trying to get out his mechanics right. He knows he's been in a horrendous slump. And when you saw him trotting around the bags after hitting that home run, he never smiled. You can imagine the anguish that he's been living under during this slump.
2 down, Lamont Wade Jr., who hit the 2-run homer to put the Giants ahead in the 5th inning. They were trailing 1-0 at the time. And he was behind in the count 0-2. He kept seeing one changeup after another, fouling him off, and then he got a fastball after all that and hit a home run. A ball and a strike now. Giants need a base runner right now. Yastrzemski on deck. And if Lamont Wade were able to get on, Yaz would be the possible tying run. One and two.
So he's got a changeup, backdoor slider, changeup. Well, one of the great at-bats of the year. Down 1-0, he comes up and goes from an 0-2 situation, fouls off nastiness, and in the end, he winds up knocking one out of his ballpark to give his team a 1-run lead. That was just such a great moment in this game.
Back to the changeup again. Too low. Well, he's been hitting the ball hard all night long, including that home run, but even his first 2 at-bats. Now 3-2. Remember, he was the Giants' first hit of the night, and he hit a line shot back at Frankie Montas and hit him on the hip. 105 miles an hour, that one. There's Yastrzemski on deck. Second batter of the inning to get a full count against Romo. He struck out Casali on the 3-2 count, though. 3-2 to Wade. Foul hit very hard down the right field line and over the bricks.
Heads up.
Three and 2. The shortstop, Andrus, is the man in between in shallow right field in the overshift. And it's a walk through that breaking ball to the outside, and it was ball 4.
Another great at bat. Go from 1-2 to a walk. Now Yastrzemski's going to come in and he'll represent the tying run.
But he won't be facing Romo. The Athletics have one lefty in their bullpen, and they're going to bring him in right here, apparently. And it will be Jake Diekman in for the bullpen. Runner at first, 2 down. Giants trailing 4-2. And Diekman in to face Yastrzemski when we come back.
Well, we've got a new kind of Giants pre- and post-game show. It's Giants Summer Sunday featuring Therese Vignal, Cole Kuiper, Carmen Q, and Anthony Garcia before and after every Sunday Giants game all summer long, including after tomorrow's game on NBC Sports Bay Area.
So here is Jake Diekman to face Yastrzemski.
44 strikeouts in 31 2/3 innings. You're going to see a low 3/4 release with mid to high 90s velocity on the fastball. A hard slider.
Oh, that drilled him. And now the possible tying runs are both on base. Right in the back.
Well, for you young hitters watching, it is a breaking ball, and you can see the slider not doing a whole lot, but you see the way Yastrzemski turns his back to the pitcher, protecting himself. It's the way you want to do it. I mean, it hurts, but it's not going to hit you in the hands. It's not going to hit you in the face.
And actually, on that looked like it might have hit him instead on the arm, maybe a little bit of the rib cage. So here is Wilmer Flores. Diekman has been susceptible to the long ball. He's averaged about 1 homer allowed every 6 innings pitched, which is rather high for a late inning reliever.
Well, 1 every 10 innings is acceptable. 1 out of 6 is not good.
Line drive, base hit. Wade heading home. Kemp slipping as he threw it into the cutoff man. So only a couple of pitches have been thrown here by Diekman. The Giants have a run. It's 4-3. And Yaz, the possible tying run to second.
Flores not waiting around, jumping on the first pitch. He's looking for something hard out over the plate. Just over the outstretched arm of Andrus. And with Tony Kemp's arm, an easy wave and green light from Ron Wodos in the third base coaching box.
Now Darren Ruff is going to be entered in as the pinch hitter for Alex Dickerson. So Diekman and Murphy deep in conversation.
Good speed at second base with Yastrzemski, and he's going to get a 2-out jump. And the best arm in the A's outfield is in center field with Laureano. The corners are average and below average in left.
To Darren Ruff, the pinch hitter. A base hit could tie the game. Yastrzemski, the runner at second, who has lots of speed. They called a strike right on the inside. The Giants have the left-hander Alvarez in the bullpen, but also the right-hander Tyler Rogers. Diaz at second, Flores at first. Oakland got 2 here in the 7th and a 4-2 lead. The Giants have come back with 1, trying for more. Blew it by him at 96 miles an hour.
Good balanced swing, however. One thing from a pitcher's perspective, if you throw a fastball by a guy once, you think you can do it a second time.
To the count. And he does. High fastball, and the inning is over. So the Giants get one of those runs back. We head to the 8th inning. 4-3 Oakland.
Let's take a look from our T-Mobile coverage cam. Our coverage cam here at Oracle Park. Well, it's the splash cam. We love the splash cam. It's located high above the right field foul pole. The splash cam provides great shots of the playing field, Giants dugout, and of course, all of the drama in McCovey Cove. Our T-Mobile coverage cam.
33,168. The official paid crowd here at Oracle Park. And here is Jose Alvarez in from the Giants bullpen, Mike.
24th time he has come in. 2-1 record. In a while since he's been on the field. He's going to take the heart of the beast. 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this club.
Starting with Jed Lowry, switch hitter. Lowry helped set up the tying run of the game. He got a base hit back in the 6th inning. Lamont Wade Jr., by the way, now in left field with Darren Ruff taking over at first base after Ruff pinch hit for Dickerson. Crawford with a high hop. And Lowry is now 1 for 4. And Sky Bolt will head to the plate. Bolt, who got into a couple of games with the Giants earlier this year. Bolt, who just got called up from AAA recently. Switch hitter. And a called strike. He was picked up on waivers by the Giants back on April the 5th. And near the end of April, got into a couple of games. The Giants only had 1 plate appearance and went 0 for 1. That is a foul. Came up and hit Bolt. So then the Giants traded him back to Oakland. And they sent him to Las Vegas. Sky Bolt.
Still one of the really great names in the game. A guy named Sky Bolt. I mean, he has to be fast.
Kind of a superhero name, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Sky Bolt.
One of 6 players to appear with the A's and the Giants in the same season since 1997. It does happen.
1-2 the count. Off the inside. Dodgers won their game on a walk-off homer by Cody Bellinger earlier. Dodgers beat the Cubs 3-2. But the Padres, who've won 8 in a row, are trailing Arizona 8-0. Top of the 8th inning. Foul ball. Didn't sound. I think he broke his bat.
Had a little changeup hit off the end of the bat. Now, you don't mind breaking a bat, but you want to get a hit out of it. You certainly don't want a foul ball.
Bolt has had 4 hits in 31 at bats with the Athletics. He didn't have that many chances with the Giants. He had 1 at bat. He struck out. And that was it. 2-2 the count. And he got a piece of it to foul it off into the crowd. 1:05 first pitch in tomorrow's game. Sammy Long scheduled for the Giants against Cole Irvin. A couple of lefties. Now it's a full count.
Think about Sky Bolt. I mean, he is indeed quick. You do not want to walk him. Seen a lot of smiles up in the stands tonight.
That hit hard. Nice pick there by Wilmer. And nice throw. 2 down.
Cannot make a better play than that. I think one of the toughest plays is a high backhander, especially at high speed. It really shows off a guy's hands. The other thing too, when you're coming to your right, you square up to throw to first base, you're coming over the top, and his release to first was beautiful. It was quick, perfect strike. Another reminder that you're in the big leagues.
Here is Sean Murphy. Donovan Solano. And a 1-2-3 inning. 3 ground ball outs induced by Alvarez. Giants are down by a run. Crawford, Solano, Duggar due up.
All right, time now for our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Tyler Rogers last night. His appearance, 16 pitches, 9 fastballs, 7 sliders. They all averaged under 84 miles per hour. And that's our StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
A few of them were a little bit outside, weren't they?
Just a little bit. Look at the path. You can see the rise of that curveball. It's hysterical.
And 1 or 2 of those that looked way outside ended up being swung at. But here's Brandon Crawford against Jake Diekman. Crawford has hit the 2 balls very hard. A drive deep to left that was caught right out near the wall by Kemp, and then a line shot to center. 1-1 the count. Donovan Solano on deck. Steven Duggar due up 3rd in the inning. Oakland's bullpen is busy. Lou Trevino, a right-hander, warming up. Two strikes.
Diekman, 34 years old. There you see Lou Trevino. Interesting. Brandon Crawford, Jake Diekman both share same birthday, January 21st.
Ooh, that was close. 1-2.
Good 0-2 pitch.
in the dirt. Staying with that breaking ball against Brandon Crawford here. 2-2 the count.
Upon further review, Jake Diekman and Brandon Crawford born on the same day, January 21st, 1987. How often does that happen?
You mean literally the same day?
Literally the same day.
And the fastball down and away. Now it's 3-2. Giants down by a run. Giants who have only 4 hits in the game, but 3 runs. Oakland only 6 hits in the game, but 4 runs. And Crawford fights it off after that breaking ball.
Nasty pitch. Great fight him off. We live to see another pitch.
And Crawford fights another one off. 96-mile-an-hour fastball there. Crawford began the day third, tied for third in the National League in RBIs, 7th in the league in home runs. 3-2 the count. And he pops another one.
It's a battle right here.
Going over is Laureano. So pretty gritty at bat, determined at bat there by Brandon, but he is retired. Now a word from Toyota.
Toyota's 4th of July sales event is going on now. Don't miss out. Get $750 cash back on Highlander or Highlander Hybrid. Hurry in any way you can. Toyota, let's go places.
Here's Donovan Solano. Solano's been on base twice. Swung the bat well. He got a single to right. Flied out deep to center and then walked his last time. Steven Duggar on deck. Too high. 1 ball, no strikes. Day game tomorrow. Then the Giants will fly to LA afterward. We've got 2 in LA Monday and Tuesday nights. And then move to the Valley of the Sun. They've got a 4-game series starting on Thursday at Arizona. Very high again, 2-0. The Giants will come home after the 4th of July game in Arizona. 4th of July is already, that's a week from tomorrow. And then they'll spend the last week right here at Oracle Park before the All-Star break. And they'll be outside the division for that last week. I think the Cardinals are coming in, and then the Washington Nationals.
Good series.
Ooh, big rip, high fastball, back to the screen.
Had to come into him, 2-0. That's the thing. If you're going to be a guy that exists in the bullpen, you have to be able to challenge. You have to throw strikes. You cannot walk, especially in a 1-run ball game. And you're going to give up some home runs because of it, but you just have to be able to do that.
Now 3-1 with Duggar, another lefty on deck.
Once again, Diekman has put himself in a get-it-in situation. And Donovan Solano is going to sit on a fastball, the same one he got in the 2-0 count.
Three and one the count. And he got the fastball, fouling it into the second deck off to the right.
It doesn't hurt to have a low 3/4, 97-mile-an-hour fastball that you have a little crossover step with. I mean, it does help. He ain't exactly running up there naked with the fastball.
Full count to Solano. One out, nobody on. 8th inning. Giants down by a run. It's high and foul off the right field line and off the bricks.
Hey, look who got it. The guy who appreciates it the most. And he's going to high five everybody in the stadium. And that's a good big brother right there. That's the look you're all waiting for. That's the look we missed last year.
Three and two to Solano. That ball is hit well. Deep left center field. It's on its way. Adios, Pelota. Solano. What an at bat, and he has tied the game. Four to four.
Now Diekman kept working himself into predictable fastball counts, and he never wavered. This time he comes with 98 on the inside corner. And Solano just cleared the hips and spinned on it. And all the power supplied with 98. And he takes on the deep part of the yard, and we got a brand new ball game, partner.
Second home run of the night for the Giants. Donovan Solano. Donnie barrels. He definitely barreled that one. And here now is Steven Duggar, who's walked twice, scored a run, grounded out, and he just got robbed this last time by Jed Lowry, who saved a run when he speared Duggar's would-be base hit. One out and one in. It's 4 to 4.
Both of the Giants' home runs tonight have been hit in 2-strike counts. Both at bats have been grinding, challenging, fight off nastiness, get to a pitch that you can do something with and then deliver. A home run from Matt Chapman, opposite field, 2-runner, impressive.
Check swing, too low.
These two games we've seen in this series have been incredible. Giants finish it out tomorrow, then they have 3 more in Oakland later this year. And if this series is any indication of what we can expect, it's going to all be good. The baseball has been incredible for both teams.
Too high on the outside. The Giants play in Oakland August 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It's the start of an East Coast road trip for the Giants. They go from Oakland to New York and then to Atlanta in late August. 2-2 the count now to Duggar. Whoa. He took it, and ice water in his veins to take that one with 2 strikes, and he got the call. And Murphy is really upset and giving Barrett some angry words there, and Barrett went out and got right in his face, and here comes Bob Melvin now to get between them.
Yeah, he's got to try and keep his catcher in the game. And the only reason Murphy is upset about it is that he's had that pitch called a strike about a half dozen times tonight. There has been some width on both sides of the plate tonight.
And Bob Melvin has just been ejected from the game.
Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief, coming in, giving Lance Baird a little help. Take a look at the fastball. It just missed on the outside corner. It has not been a consistent strike. I mean, we've seen some call a strike, some not call a strike. We definitely have seen a call a strike in two-strike situations. But Duggar lives to see another pitch.
One out, a run in on the Solano home run. 4-4 score. It's a 3-ball, 2-strike count now to Duggar. And a walk. Well off the outside that time. Now the Oakland bench coach is Ryan Christensen, so I'm assuming that he'll become the acting manager, and he comes out now. They've got the pitcher due up third in the 9th inning. So it looks like he's going to make the pitching change and also make a double switch here. And heading into the outfield is Brown. That is Seth Brown. And he's going out into right field for the Athletics. First he gets the card from Sky Bolt. So Brown will go into the 9th spot in the order, which is due up third in the 9th inning. They have Trevino throwing in the bullpen. The score is 4-4. A run is in, and for the Athletics it will be Lou Trevino coming in. Giants 4, Athletics 4. The Giants with a run here in the 8th to tie the game, and now Steven Duggar after his walk, which came one pitch after the ejection of Oakland manager Bob Melvin. Now Lou Trevino in from the Oakland bullpen.
Check out the numbers: a 2.04 ERA at 34 appearances. 31 strikeouts against 16 walks. If that probably be the only blemish on the report card for Trevino is the number of walks. You're going to see a power sinker that's mid to high 90s. He's also got a good changeup, curveball, cutter that he can throw off of that. Lots of movement.
And there is Seth Brown, the new right fielder, who will be up third in the 9th inning. Curt Casali, the hitter, against Trevino, and called a strike. Well,
generous strike, but it's not anything we haven't seen all game. We know that there has been width on both sides of the plate since the first inning.
Casali has been up there 3 times and struck out all 3.
I think what upset Casali was more that it was called up than it was called away. We have not seen many up and aways on either side of the plate.
For the Giants, the pitcher's spot is due up next, and Austin Slater, Giants have no more left-handed hitters available off the bench, is on deck. 0-2.
What that first pitch does to Casali is it means that he has to cover that outside corner now. I mean, you think, well, it's an 0-1 count, it's just 1 strike, but it establishes the outside part of the strike zone as being 4 inches off of what in your mind should be the strike zone.
That ball is hit down the left field line, foul. 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and he jumped out in front of it.
I think too, when you get a wide strike zone on a night, I mean, you just get in the swing mode. You're afraid to take a pitch. on either side of the plate.
Tyler Rogers, the right-hander, is up in the Giants bullpen. Last of the 8th, 4-4. The speedy Duggar, the runner at first. Struck him out. 97 miles an hour, knee high on the outside.
Just a perfect pitch. Two-seam movement at 97. Just taking advantage of that outside corner. And again, that was established on the first strike.
Now Slater is the pinch hitter. Trevino ready, delivers. The chopper to the right side. High hop, and Lowry. One Stanford guy throws out another Stanford guy to end the inning. But Donovan Solano, tell it bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say, to tie the game. And we head to the 9th. Tyler Rogers will come in. It's 4-4. Giants 4, Athletics 4. As we head to the 9th inning here at Oracle Park, and there is Tyler Rogers on the pitch for the Giants.
37th time he has come in, been a workhorse, 1-0 with 9 saves. The ERA at 1.43. And look at how the lefties are hitting, or I say they haven't been hitting. Just 111.
And I think most people would think it would be just the opposite with Tyler Rogers.
Totally. But the one thing about his fastball, John, is that it is going to work its way back into a right-hander. It's going to work away from the lefty, and that is definitely something that favors a hitter from the right side.
Elvis Andrus, and he almost got hit by that one. 1 ball and no strikes. Andrus got a single leading off the 3rd inning and took second on an error by Duggar, and later scored the first run of the game on a wild pitch. Fouls that one into the batter's box area. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since then, he's grounded out to second and grounded out to third. So Andrus 1 for 3 in the game, hitting .226 for the year. They acquired him in the deal that sent Chris Davis to the Texas Rangers. Right in there, strike 2 called. Down the left field line and foul.
Hooked it. Yeah, we get somebody down there making a play. Brought his glove. That a bit.
A ball and 2 strikes to Andrus. Tony Kemp on deck. Struck him out with the riser. 1 away.
It's just a pitch you never see. And it literally rises. The submarine release, the floater up, and Andrus victimized. Big first out. Yeah, it'll make you shake your head.
Now Tony Kemp, the Giants have kept him off the bases tonight. He's 0 for 3. And a foul. Four to 4 the score here in the 9th inning. Machin is on deck. High and tight and off the glove of Casali. Well off the outside. 2-1.
Becomes a big pitch. One thing you cannot do with Tony Kemp is walk him. Not a tie score.
Slow tapper. And Rogers over to Ruff. He threw that ball underhand. It's almost like he'd never had thrown one underhanded before. Whoops.
I don't ever work on that. I thought he was going to take it himself. And he almost threw it over the head of Darren Ruff. For 6-2.
Dimael Machin out of Virginia Commonwealth University. Grew up in Puerto Rico. Oh, I beg your pardon. This was Machin had been in there as a pinch hitter in the 7th, but this is Seth Brown who had come in as part of the double switch. I beg your pardon. 0-1 the count. I'm begging you, I tell you.
You know what Seth Brown's thinking? He's thinking, that's great. I get one at bat all night and I have to hit off this guy. Well, think about a submarine guy. You don't see any submarine style batting practice pitchers. You just don't. And they've yet to make a submarine style pitching machine. Doesn't exist. So when you get in there, for a lot of guys, it's literally the first time they've ever seen it.
Seth Brown, who's got power, 9 home runs in 147 at bats, 190 average. And a foul right back beneath us. That riser went up and was able to foul it back. The leadoff man, Ramon Laureano, on deck. 2 down, nobody on. Matt Chapman in the hole. Playing tight. Giants have the overshift on for Brown. 3 infielders to the right of second. And a little chop that goes foul. The Giants in their half of the 9th will have the top of the order due up. Lamont Wade Jr., Mike Yastrzemski, and Wilmer Flores. Four to 4. Giants fans and A's fans all around Oracle Park this weekend. 2-2 the count. And another bounding ball foul up the first base side. Rogers will try it again. Off the inside. 2-2.
Seth Brown's put up a pretty good at bat here.
And there is Laureano on deck. And he's hoping to bat here in the 9th inning. 3-2. In left field, right to Lamont Wade Jr. 3 up and 3 down. The Giants with Wade, Yaz, and Flores coming up last of the 9th.
Well, you take a look at the wind in this ballpark, and definitely an edge to the hitters going out to left field. Still not an easy field to hit out of on the right side of the field. Rare that you see blue, and that just means straight carry to left field.
The Giants with 2 left-handed hitters and then a right-handed hitter due up here in the last of the ninth against Lou Trevino, starting with Lamont Wade Jr., who hit a home run into right center field. That was a pretty good shot. That was back in the 5th inning. The Athletics got a home run to right field from a right-handed hitter, Matt Chapman, in the 7th inning. And ball 1 at 96 miles an hour. Wade's hit the ball real hard 3 straight times over 100 miles an hour, all 3. 2 ended up being outs, and then the last one, the home run. He walked in the 7th. 2-0.
Ball looked like it squirted out of the hand of Trevino.
There's Yaz on deck on his bobblehead night. Base hit to left field. And he hit that one at 106 miles an hour.
Impressive that he went the opposite way with 106. So a leadoff base runner, but a leadoff base runner with speed.
Yastrzemski 0 for 3, got hit by a pitch back in the 7th inning. So Wade, the possible winning run at first. Olsen on the bag with him. Back out of play off to the left end. Chapman was kind of creeping in. He's over in the vicinity of shortstop, but playing fairly shallow. And he kind of started creeping in as the pitch was being thrown there. Ended up in on the grass, but Yaz swung away.
I think you have to play the defense the way the A's have set it up. You just cannot flat out give them a bunt base hit.
Over into the Oakland dugout. 0-2 the count with Wilmer Flores on deck. Giants were down 1-0 until the 5th. They went ahead 2-1 in the 5th on the Wade home run. Oakland tied it in the 6th and then went ahead in the 7th on a 2-run homer by Chapman, 4-2. Giants got a run in the 7th and then tied it in the 8th on a home run by Solano. That one in the dirt to Yaz. 1-2.
Well, it is his bobblehead night. And you're supposed to do something amazing when they give you a bobblehead on the day they give it out. I mean, that's just the unwritten rule I just made up.
One and 2 the count. Very high. 2-2. There is Flores on deck. Wilmer, who knocked in a run in the 7th inning after the Giants had fallen behind 4-2 to make it 4-3. Nobody at third base now. Chapman is deep and it's short. And now it's a full count.
Now an interesting decision here for Gabe Kapler. You have a lot of sink on the fastball from Trevino. You've got good speed with Lamont Wade. Do you start the base runner here at 3-2? John Murphy, the catcher, has an outstanding arm.
Wade not running. And Yaz strikes out swinging.
Changed up on him in the 3-2 count. He could not have thrown a better one. This is absolutely a spectacular pitch at 88. Big time two-seam movement. And Yastrzemski way out front, and you cannot throw a better changeup than that.
Now Flores. He is 1 for 4 in the game. He's flied out twice, grounded out, and then got a single and an RBI in the 7th. Called a strike. That wide strike on the outside.
Both teams tonight have benefited from it, and both teams have been victimized by it.
Wilmer, who's had a hot bat the last couple of weeks as Wade dives safely back to first. The outfield for Oakland over toward the right field side against Flores. And another throw to first by Trevino.
Lamont Wade had about a 2-foot lead there. But hey, if you get to call the thrower from the bench, you got to throw over.
Right to right field, and quickly coming in to catch it is Brown. 2 down. Just kind of a little pop up into shallow right. So 2 down. That leaves it to Darren Ruff. He struck out as a pinch hitter back in the 7th inning. Four runs, 6 hits for each team as we play the last of the 9th inning. Along the right field line again, racing in is Brown into foul ground. Can't get there. Strike 1. Lamont Wade Jr. was off and running at the crack of the bat there, just in case. In the Giants bullpen, Jake McGee warming up. If we go to the 10th inning, and that's what Trevino's trying to make happen, Oakland would have the top of its batting order coming up. And another throw to first. Ruff, who has lots of power. Brandon Crawford on deck. And another foul. This one reaching back into the upper deck off to the right.
He's going down there and he's beating knee-high corner location. I mean, I shouldn't say beating it. I mean, he's fouling them off, but there have been no mistakes really out in the middle of the strike zone where Ruff can really get a hold of one. Trevino's command in this battle here has been impeccable.
0-2 the count. In the dirt. He gets away from Murphy just a few feet. Wade hanging on at first. Antoine Richardson over, offering some words of wisdom for Lamont Wade Jr.
Yeah, he said, don't get picked off.
One and 2. Check swing, an appeal. No, says Tim Timmons, the first base umpire. It was not. 2-2 the count. Blocked as that one bounced in there by Murphy, the catcher. So the battle continues here. Giants had one of these with Solano up there in the 8th inning, and ultimately he launched a home run to tie the game. And a pop up coming over Olsen, but this is back behind the Oakland dugout into the seats.
I mean, that has been the best location pitch he's had a chance to hack at. That was in the middle of the strike zone.
Ruff will try it again. The Oakland infield all spread out. The second baseman Lowry well over toward the middle. The shortstop Andrus into the hole toward third. Oh, mighty cut and fouled to the screen.
Another battle. These at-bats have been incredible. The grinding from the hitter and the grinding from the pitcher. Impressive.
This will be the 18th pitch of the inning from Trevino. Remember, he came in and got the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. 2-2 the count. And now it's a full count. Blocked out of the dirt again there by Murphy.
And that changes one thing. Lamont Wade Jr. is going to get a rolling start here with 2 outs. And with his speed, a gapper ends this game.
And the acting manager, Ryan Christensen, will have Olson stay on the bag with him, so as not to allow him to get too big of a lead. Here's the stretch. There he goes. And it's a walk. Another ball in the dirt, blocked by Murphy. And that puts the possible winning run into scoring position now, with Brandon Crawford coming up.
Great at bat.
That's the 7th walk drawn by the Giants in this game from Oakland pitching in this game. And the conference on the mound. As Crawford gets ready to come up, but they're having a rather lengthy chat out there. So now Crawford, who has gone 0 for 4 tonight, although he's had at least a couple of balls that he hit very hard. One deep to left that was caught near the wall by Kemp, and once a liner to fairly deep center that was caught. But now a base hit could get it done, and Wade runs well, the runner at second, the possible winning run. Giants fans and A's fans hoping for different things right here. A called strike right in the outside corner.
Perfect pitch. I don't know whatever he's looking for, but he wasn't looking for that location. Even if he was looking for a fastball.
Here's Wade. He's the man that counts. The possible winning run. Andrus, the shortstop, over behind him, trying to keep him close. Trevino trying to get straight with Murphy. What group of signs they're using at the moment?
So a changeup off of the fastball. Sort of floated it out their way. Giants know that Crawford's been an RBI machine this year for the Giants. They have an open base here with 2 outs. I doubt that Trevino is going to throw anything in the middle of the plate.
Base hit to left field. Here comes the throw, the relay, and the tag, and he's out. Kemp was playing fairly shallow, and probably just for what has happened here. And he relayed it into Chapman, and Chapman did the rest. So Crawford got the hit, but we're going extra innings anyway. Still 4-4 as we go into extra innings at Oracle Park. New pitcher for the Giants, that's Jake McGee in relief of Tyler Rogers. You see his numbers for the year, and of course he will come in and there will be that automatic runner at second base.
He's the perfect guy to come into the scenario, because when you inherit that runner at second with nobody out, that is a strikeout situation, and McGee, as you can see, perfectly capable of doing that with 37 strikeouts at 31 1/3.
So the Athletics throwing out the runner at the plate, and the way they did, take a look, Mike.
Well, you look at Chapman puts himself in position to get the cutoff, and that's a pre-planned play. They do know, the A's know that Tony Kemp does not have a strong arm. So that is a relay play, and the best relay arm on the field is at third base with Chapman. Makes a clean exchange, and in the end, it was an easy out. But that was something that they planned for by the way they preset Kemp defensively, shallow in left field.
Brown is the automatic runner at second as Laureano fouls one back to the screen, a high fastball, and it's 0-1. And it's interesting because you always talk about a guy hitting his cutoff man and whatnot. I mean, he was just trying to get the ball as quickly as possible with nothing else in mind except getting it right to Chapman as quickly as possible.
I mean, that's your best defense if you don't have a good arm, and we mentioned Kemp, he doesn't have a good arm, but he is quick with his release, and he made a nice accurate throw to Chapman, who made an easy exchange. But from the A's perspective, the whole play was set up to defend when they put him in a very shallow position. You can see just how far out Wade was. I mean, he's out by 20 feet.
Matt Chapman is on deck. And a foul in the upper deck off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, it's so interesting. And as you pointed out, Kemp had come in more shallow, with the whole idea being if there was a hit, to do what he did, get it as quickly as possible to Chapman. One and two, the A's without Mark Canha and Stephen Piscotty, 2 of their regular outfielders. And Kemp playing a lot more as a result of that. Off the inside. Now it's 2-2 to Laureano. There is Matt Chapman on deck, who hit a 2-run homer in his last at bat. That was in the 7th inning. That put the Athletics ahead at that time. So McGee will try it again. 2-2 the count. Ground ball to Crawford. That will get the runner to third. So Laureano with a productive out, 1 away.
Talked about the impressive 2-run homer early in the game from Chapman. Just a strong top hand flipping this one over the wall in right field. And at the time, it gave the A's a 2-run lead.
But now here he is trying to put him ahead again. Wouldn't take a home run here. A well hit fly ball could do it. Giants have the infield in. Trying to cut this run off. And ball 1. Chapman has also flied out to shallow left center, walked, and popped up to the first baseman. There is Olsen on deck.
Talked about the start of the inning with a runner at second, nobody out, strikeout situation. Well, now with the runner at third, 1 out, another strikeout situation for McGee, and that's what he's pitching for.
Well, that should be deep enough. Medium deep left field, and the throw in is going to be much too late, and Oakland is back ahead 5-4. Matt Chapman been the big RBI bat tonight, his 3rd RBI of the game. Birch Smith, a former Giant, warming up in the Oakland bullpen.
Getting a pitch up above the belt, I mean, that's one that will get you in the air, and he definitely got it deep enough. Lamont Wade Jr. never really had a chance on left field because of the speed of Brown at third. So a nice situational at bat for Chapman.
Giants will have Solano, Duggar, and Casali as their due-ups in the last of the 10th. And that one almost hit Olsen, who's had 1 hit in 4 at-bats, an infield hit back in the 6th inning. Olsen, the home run and RBI leader for the Athletics. 5-4, Oakland back ahead. And a slider just off the outside, 2-0. Arizona won its game 10-1 in San Diego to end the Padres' 8-game winning streak. 3-0. The switch hitting Jed Lowry is on deck. Oakland with a run here without ever getting anybody on base except for that automatic runner, and they have not had a hit in the inning. Well, they went after it on 3-0. I imagine he's probably hit a few home runs with 3-0.
Oh yeah, I mean 3-0 now is just a good count to get a good pitch to hit. And if you've got power and you've got the confidence of a guy with 20 bombs and 53 RBIs hitting 297, let him have at it. You're going to see more and more and more of that.
Racing in is Wade, going out Crawford. It is Crawford. Look out. And Wade caught it. Do they? I don't remember seeing him work on that in the backfield.
No. Jake McGee had a heart attack.
The Giants will get a runner at second. It'll be Crawford with Solano coming up. Well, the Athletics got their free runner, their automatic runner at second base home, and now they have a 5-4 lead, and Birch Smith comes in for the bullpen to try and save it.
18th time he's come into a game, 17 strikeouts against 5 walks and 21 1/3. He's got good 2-seam movement with good velocity. I mean, you're going to see mid to high 90s, more mids than highs. He also has a good curveball he's not afraid to throw, and a changeup. You'll see more to lefties than to righties.
So Brandon Crawford is the automatic runner at second base. And they will start with Donovan Solano, then Steven Duggar to follow. Curt Casali due up third in the inning. Now Oakland got their runner home with a ground ball to short. And Mike, we were just talking about it. And I think you pointed out something significant. Because it was a ground ball to short with the runner at second, but he still went to third.
Well, Seth Brown, the runner, I mean, that was a very aggressive play. The ball hit to Crawford in front of him, and he opted to go to third base and made it easily. Good jump. That's a big play.
And a foul off the right field line. Now, Solano tonight has swung the bat well. He's had a single and a home run and a walk. And the one time they got him out, he hit a deep fly ball to center. Birch Smith, his numbers are not good. His earned run average 5.48. Now Laureano's got a great arm. Comes running forward to make the catch and then fire it in for the cutoff man, Andrews. And the Giants do not get Crawford over. One away.
And non-productive outs really hurt in this scenario. And that's what that was.
The Giants have had their problems in these extra inning kind of games. They have the best record in Major League Baseball, and yet they have a losing record in extra inning games. 4 wins, 5 losses, including their win on Wednesday in overtime against the Angels. Well, here is Duggar now to try and see if he can get Crawford home. Duggar's had 3 walks in 4 plate appearances tonight. 0-1.
Giants again play Tony Kemp in left field in a shallow set. One thing about Duggar, we found out he's got pop to left field. He can definitely get it over the head of an infield or an outfield that's playing shallow. And Kemp is playing shallow.
Duggar hitting .320 for the year. Breaking ball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Birch Smith in his last 11 games with an 8.76 earned run average. So he's had hard times here lately. A ball and a strike. And foul up the first base line. 1-2 as Olsen tosses it up for a souvenir. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Steven Duggar. The A's have led, the Giants have led. And now the A's lead again. Third time in the game that they've had the lead. There's Casali on deck. One and two to Duggar. Off the outside.
Well, he opened up the at bat with a fastball. Gets strike one, and a couple of curveballs. Runs the count 1-2, and he tried to sneak attack him there with a fastball at 95. And boy, I tell you, everybody knows the strike zone tonight. Taking anything off the plate away in a 2-strike situation is a little hairy.
Now the Athletics will have a conference.
See a middle infielder coming. You know they're changing the signs. Catchers, middle infielders, very, very good at stealing signs. Crawford's at second. There is no yawning in baseball.
Two and two the count. Crawford the runner at second.
First time he's seen the changeup. So he saved that for a little 2-strike surprise, and that's a good take. Casali on deck. Has not had a good night.
Crawford, they're trying to get him home to tie this game. 1 out. 3-2 the count. Up the middle. Base hit center field. Crawford rounding third. And there will be no throw. Steven Duggar gets it done.
He has been money in extra inning situations with runners in scoring position. And he comes through again here with 1 out. A non-productive out. You needed a base hit. And he comes up with a big challenge right over the middle, right at the belt. That's got a whack me written all over it, and he delivers. Crawford thinking score all the way with 1 out.
Now Casali. Look out, right over his head with a curveball.
It's about the 5th pitch we've seen slip out of a pitcher's hand tonight. Knuckle curveball goes right over the head. No intent there. Just a slip.
Mauricio Dubon comes out on deck with the pitcher due up next. John Brebbia is up in the Giants bullpen. Way high. 2-0. The Athletics have Deolis Guerra, a right-hander, up in their pen. There he is.
Well, he's their right-handed, left-handed specialist.
2-0. Down the left field line. Base hit. Duggar, the fastest runner, to third. The ball juggled. Here's the relay home. Save! And the ball game is over. The Giants have tied it, and now they have won it. And the man who had struck out 4 straight times ends up being the hero of the piece.
Take a look at the location from the pitch. It is right there. It is room service. And the A's had played Tony Kim towards the left center field gap. They gave the line, and Duggar sees this. And Kemp does not have a great arm, but Duggar with a great jump. They can score the whole way. Gets the green light from Ron Wodas, and he never broke stride.
What a night. A game that had so many twists and turns, and we had lead changes on numerous occasions, including here in overtime.
Just tremendous baseball from both teams. I mean, it really has felt like a playoff atmosphere this whole series, and these teams have delivered just nail biters and just clutch grinding at bat, clutch grinding pitching. Just a beautiful game.
Final score in 10. The Giants over the Athletics, 6-5. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow and Dave Fleming. And now stay tuned for Giants Post Game Live presented by Toyota, starting right now.